go. That was bizarre. I really don't know why that happened, but all is good. We're back. I was just simply trying to look at the damn YouTube chat, and all of a sudden my own stream shut down. I think I just said it on general. In fact, I think it was thinking that I was trying to start another stream when I wasn't. So I had to remake this one real quick. I don't have any tags on it, but it's all good. If you know why you need to be here, you're here. Let me share this stream real quick. I feel like I should probably do that. I guess that isn't the stream link. Thought it would send me that. There you go. There's the link for the new stream right there. Ignored a little 18-minute video. A little bit behind, but we're about to start that League C draft like I was mentioning. The first picks are in front of me. I'll name off the draft order once again here in a moment. If you were not in King of Draft this morning, I done screwed up. I made a bit of a mistake. I didn't realize that one of the people who sent in a list last minute, Sam FM32, I believe is his name, he sent in his list last second. I missed it somehow, and I straight up forgot to put him in the leagues at first. Sent out League C as 9 people. I'm such a genius, thank you, I know. But it's all been sorted out. Hope everybody is doing good today. I think we're still waiting for a few people to file in, so we'll go ahead and start the draft officially at 7:35 Central Time. We'll go ahead and set that time. Here I am, everybody. Let me look towards y'all. We got a few more updates, of course, towards excuse me, Jesus. A few more updates in terms of Battlebots, of course, today. We heard that Double Tap might be having some issues getting through safety, but it looks like they're going to be okay. Some people do know what the first Double Tap fight is. Some people have seen Double Tap fight. In fact, of course, day 2 of Battlebots is happening. Today. And some fights have already leaked. I believe one fight did leak on Instagram. I don't know if the picture is still out there. It is a tiny, tiny detail, something I didn't even notice at first. But I have had a couple of sources send me fight info. Looks like it's a pretty nice season so far. Apparently a lot of teams have already heard their first 3 matchups, as I believe the rumor is. First 3 matchups each team has already heard. And on top of that, teams also, I believe, know. What was I going to say? Brain fart. This is why I don't like doing this stuff live. Teams know that, and teams also know, oh yeah, first 3 fights. They know the first 3 fights, of course, and then the 4th fight, they don't know at all. I think that fight is going to be more torn towards same win-loss record or playoff implication, depending on where the robot sits standing-wise. And then that's what I was going to say. And apparently, according to a lot of the sources, most of these fights aren't uneven. I know a big gripe during the 2021 season from myself as well was that there was a lot of uneven matches, just absolute mismatches during the regular season, especially towards the end. Episode 9, episode 10, a lot of those fights just did not make sense at all. But we're going to be starting. My phone is being very bizarre right now. I don't know what it's doing. That's strange. Hope it isn't a reset on me, because that's really weird. Sorry, I'm live here. Don't like being live because weird things like that happen. I'm gonna throw my phone over here. Super bizarre. Hello. Okay, sorry. It's 7:35. Like I said, we're gonna be starting the League C draft right here, right now. In fact, let me make the announcement. League. Let me switch to the right overlay. Hello, once again, Combot Collective, Sterling Brown, King of Draft here. And we're going to be starting the League C draft here in just a second. But first, let's run over our King of Draft League C selection order. Kicking off the draft. In fact, let me switch to the right here. Our League C selections. Let me zoom in a little bit. A lot of it, actually. Not that much. Kinda there, you can see it. Here we go. First pick will be from Pizza Spartan with Team Pizza. He was present in the 2020 season, missed the 2021 season, but is returning to League C with this. Second, of course, being Porinog, member of the Combot Collective, member of the King of Draft officials. He has the Deadlift Memorial Team. Of course, Deadlift recently retiring from Battlebots and Robot Combat altogether. Very unfortunate, especially after the Pain Train matchup that it had at Vengeance in Vegas. Something we will be talking about in our upcoming video. Talking about that event, I will have Porinog on for that episode. He is picking second overall after a disappointing season last year with the George Lopez team. And then we have host of the Green Square Talks Battlebots podcast, Green Square himself with Team Green Square. He did all right last season, finds himself in the middle of the pack with the third selection. Kringus, long-time veteran of King of Draft. I believe he's been here since the 2019 season. Good friend of mine on there. He is fourth overall with WCKR 100. And then another King of Draft official, Mantine, Monday Night Mantine, Mega Mantine, Georgie Mantine, whatever you want to call him. A little bit hesitant about Gigabyte this year, but he is present with the Giga Boys once again. Picking fifth, we have My Precious, known for selecting all rookies in his third season this year with Team Red. Moving forward, there he is, the person I was just talking about, Sam FM, added to the roster this year. Added to the roster as of today with Angry Penguin Robotics. Watch out for them. Had to reshuffle the order a little bit thanks to that. So what you're going to see on that draft pick board, a little bit inaccurate. I don't know how we're going to do it in fact, since there's only 8 picks on there. So I guess pick number 9 is just going to have to be a standalone thing. We're going to have to put it out of the way. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But moving forward here, Ice Wave, Team Fixed Witch Bad. He won the 2020 season's King of Draft League C Championship. In fact, he was one of the main contenders to be King of Draft altogether that year. Team Fixed Wedge back for his third season. Ice Wave Square, definitely a very knowledgeable guy on Battlebots. Like I said yesterday, I saw him at Battlebots 2019. He knows his stuff. Very good member to have here. And another King of Draft official here. This really is the League of the Officials, League of the Podcasters. This is a very stacked league. Rivals League B for sure. We have Mr. 77, the man from Maine, our main man. He is an official for King of Draft, repping the Northern Force. And of course, like I said yesterday, he is our defending League C champion, former League C champions. We have them all right here. We scroll up, and once again, this document is in the league updates on our King of Draft Discord page, and updates every 5 minutes. Please keep that in a separate tab if you want to follow this stream correctly, because I don't know if we're going to have a person putting in draft selections and league updates. I think 77 said he is going to do it for at least a little bit, so we have that. But of course, our former champions, Team Fixed Wedge Bad and the Northern Force. Not too many people, but still a little bit of history for this league. We're not going to waste too much time. We're going to jump right into round 1, selection 1 here in just a moment with Team Pizza, and definitely a lot of very familiar robots in this first round here, but also some very different robots. We have 9 robot selections here, so 5 more picks in this round. 45 selections overall in the League C draft. We'll have to see how this goes. Oh, my apologies with my precious if you are a she. That's on me. But here we go. We're about to start the League C draft. Like the first overall round yesterday for the Attendee League, I'm just going to have my beautiful mug on here while I announce these picks, and then we will update them accordingly when we put up our pick sheet here. And then we're going to go from that. We're going to use the pick sheet from this point onward after that, because it's just easier for me. Don't have to switch over back and forth. But I digress. We have the general chat here, so if you want to say hello, chat in the chat right now on our Discord page. Excuse me. There we go. Close this door. Make sure my phone isn't broken. Cool, it's not. That was super weird. Plug the microphone again, and it certainly happened. Looks like we have everything in order. We're about to start here. As now we start. For Team Pizza, let's kick it off today with the first overall selection in the League C draft. In Team Pizza, you can certainly toss a pizza with this robot. The first overall selection in League C will be Blip. I believe this is our, let me double check. Yeah, this is our third round where Blip has gone in the first round, I believe. I'm sorry, our third draft where Blip has gone in the first round. Definitely a very impressive robot. I believe it is 6th overall on our TCC overall rankings. Let me pull those up real quick. Blip sits at number 10 on the Battlebots rankings. But we won't talk too much about Blip. We talked about it plenty yesterday. Don't want to sound like a broken record here. There's only so much to talk about these robots. As I look for my spreadsheet. Let's get to it. Blip added to Team Pizza. And now for the Deadlift Memorial team. Pori Hog has a very unique strategy for his team this year. Maybe we can get him on stream later if this VC works like we're hoping for. We're going to try it after the League C draft, see how well it operates. We tried the calling feature yesterday and it just shut down the stream. So hopefully we don't deal with that today. And more importantly, hopefully I can get Discord to actually pick up audio, because that was aggravating yesterday. It drove me insane. But I digress. We're going to keep moving on forward here. Pori Nog has a very unique strategy for his team this year. And you can kind of catch the vibe of where he's going to go with the Deadlift Memorial team as the 2nd overall selection in the League C draft by Pori Nog is Doomba. That's right, Doomba. Some people still think it's an alternate. It may be, but it may not be after we've seen quite a few robots having some trouble. Of course, we've seen Doom drop out, Double Tap having some issues. Apparently, there's a couple other robots that I do not know of right now also dealing with some internal issues and not getting through safety immediately. Terratop's the only rookie to get through safety and is the first rookie to ever do that since Battlebots 2015. So that's a very impressive feat for them. But there we go, Doomba, the ace of Pori's team, the first selection, the 2nd overall selection in the League C draft. As we write down Doomba. But now it's time for Our man, the man with a J in his name, we don't know where. Green Square, with Team Green Square. And with him, we have the 3rd overall selection in the League C draft, and he will be picking Minotaur. Of course, coming from Brazil. Brand new robot this year, according to the Scorpius blog. I forgot to bring that up last year. But it is a brand new robot, and according to one of the Reddit threads that we saw, I believe a comment on one of the Reddit threads about Minotaur, it's the new robot's a bit longer this year apparently. A little bit of a lengthier robot. I couldn't tell that from some of the pictures, so it must be very marginal. But new side pods for armor, looks absolutely fantastic. Minotaur changes so subtly every year, you can kind of see it. Still an absolute badass robot. Of course, went into the top 8 last season. We'll see if they can do better. They're a former grand finalist. But now moving to our boy Kringus, King of Draft veteran with WKRC 100. And once again, this robot will have yet to miss a first round selection. End Game is Kringus' selection, 4th overall pick. End Game, the 2020 Battlebots champion, the 2021 Golden Bolt winner. We'll see if maybe he can double down, get both championships for 2022 here, heading into 2023. That would certainly make Endgame look good on the TCC overall rankings. Endgame is ranked number 1 on the Battlebots rankings, and I want to say number 3 on the TCC rankings, but let me double check. Yes, number 3 on the TCC rankings, so definitely a very high ranked bot. Endgame probably won't miss the first round. I said that yesterday, and I'll say that again here. But now we jump to Monday Night Mantine with the Giga Boys, and he is making a very unique selection. In fact, let me make sure I have this right. Make sure that no changes have been made since yesterday. Okay, that's correct. Mantine will be selecting from the UK, first time in round 1 for this robot, Quantum. Coming from Robo Challenge, very well known for their events, but Quantum, very well known for winning King of Bots 1, has been super successful, champion at King of Bots 1, top 24 at King of Bots 1.5, final 2 teams in King of Bots 2, top 16 at Battlebots 2019, so that's a very solid prestige for the robot. Hopefully we can see that, keep it up here. Some rumors have come out about that robot's first fight, but nothing to be talked about here. I'm super excited to see it. I'm not sure about those weird top pair thingies. Very strange, but Quantum will be joining the Giga Boys. Very unique pick. The Soul Crusher in the field. No Petunia this year. Kraken, of course, making changes. We'll talk about that later on in the stream. But now let's go to my precious with Team Red. Known for her all rookie selections this year, and we're going to keep that going with this robot. Messages. Triton. There we go. I accidentally said it immediately, but yes, the 6th overall selection in the League C draft. First for Team Red will be Triton. The all-rookie team being led by the Glass Cannon. We saw some pictures of Triton finally today on Instagram. I am very anxious about all the internals being in that back box of the robot. But it is a very uniquely constructed robot, very frame-esque, very Tombstone and Deep Six hybrid, which is what we expected with this robot. I made mention on the similarities to the Season 5.0 Super Heavyweight Robo Loco. I still kind of see it with this robot, but it is a very unique design. That big box on the back is going to be quite the target, but like I said yesterday, you got to be able to hit it first. That's a big, scary weapon. That anchor blade is terrifying. Apparently, they also have a secondary blade, more of a traditional blade, and it's going to be the nautical blade. It's going to be painted uniquely like a compass head, I believe is what the thing Bradley Hanstead said. Bradley Hanstead, captain of the team, friend of the Combot Collective. He's been following us since day 1. Shouts to him. But now let's move forward here to the man that almost missed a cut. I forgot him yesterday. Sam FM with Angry Penguin Robotics. Let's see here. What does he have for his first selection? I have to remember. And yes, coming in late, but coming in clutch here, he picked Tantrum for our 7th overall selection. So finally, Tantrum will not be, fix that there. Tantrum will not be the last robot selected in round 1. It was for the last 3 drafts. That was very fascinating. And in fact, it would have been for a 4th straight draft if Sam didn't join in, but he came in late and he's here. Of course, Tantrum, the 2021 Battlebots champion, our defending champion. We saw on Scorpia's blog today that they have these big, beautiful banners of every Battlebots champion, at least in the heavyweight class, and Law Machine for some reason. Greg and Treyla patting themselves on the back for that robot. It is cool to see the old Robot Wars logo, though, in the arena. But they have that Tantrum banner covered. I'm sure in the first episode and during the first taping, we're going to see that banner get dropped down, and we'll get to see it all for everyone to see. That's going to be awesome to see. But yes, Tantrum, 7th overall selection in the first round for Angry Penguin Robotics. As we now go to the 2020 King of Draft League C champion, Ice Wave Squared with Team Fixed Wedge Bad. What will the Fixed Wedge boys be selecting this time? Is this a fixed wedge? I feel like this is wedgeless. Maybe he has made a new leaf, a new change, because I think this robot has wedgelets. It also has a fixed wedge configuration, but it isn't as often as used. But, excuse me. Second flipper in the first round. Team Fixed Wedge Bad has selected Hydra. Team Waiachi Robot, of course. Jake Ewert as the captain. Had a fantastic year last year. Flips on robots like Gruff. Flips on robots like, who was it? Black Dragon. That was a big victory for it. Also took Ribot to the limit in what was a very controversial match. A victory that was won by Hydra by knockout. That match will be a knockout this year with the new Battlebots rules. But it doesn't matter right now. Hydra, the first selection. 8th selection overall in League C. As we now go to the Northern Force. Our guys from Maine with Mr. 77. And this is a robot that we actually haven't seen much in the first round during our draft so far, but we will see it in the first round this time. The Northern Force will be selecting Miss Second Place twice over, Witch Doctor in the first round. Witch Doctor, of course, very impressive robot. Beautiful robot, in fact. We've seen it compete in every Battlebot season since 2015. I believe it even competed at Battlebots 2009 in the middleweight class, so definitely in 2011 as well in the middleweight class. So a lot of Battlebots pedigree for Andrea Galately and Mike Galately. Team Busted Nut Robotics with Witch Doctor here. Hopefully they can have a good year. Witch Doctor tends to be one of those robots that has good year, bad year, good year, bad year. 2020 was a little rough for it. 2021, obviously excellent. 2022, we'll have to see how it goes. The robot scene, we haven't actually seen much footage, many pictures of the robot yet. And the group so far, we're gonna have to see. And what's up, Cold Silver? It's been a minute. I'm glad to have you here. I believe Crystal, we moved Crystal from League E to RFC League. We actually had to move a few people over there. We moved KoD from League B. We didn't have as many people, but we did have just enough to do RFC League again this year. We'll be doing the RFC draft at the very end of the stream. That will be our 3rd and final draft that we do today. But now, let's go to our picks here. And it's going to be a little inaccurate because I got to make some changes. Yes. We're going to switch Tantrum and Hydra's picks here. And what we're going to do is we're going to have the first pick and the last pick of the last round and the first pick of the upcoming round in the same circle bet, since it's going to be from the same team. That'll just be what we'll do. That'll make sense. But yes, first overall selection. Let me go back here. First overall selection, Team Pizza takes Blip. The Deadlift Memorial team takes Doomba. A surprising selection here. And actually, believe it or not, the Deadlift Memorial team actually stole Doomba from Team Red. Huge shock there that 2 teams in one round wanted Doomba as their first overall pick. One draft, I should say, wanted Doomba as their first overall pick. But that's what we had. Porynog stole Doomba from My Precious. My Precious had to settle for Triton, our 6th overall selection. Minotaur, 3rd overall selection for the Green Square crew. Kareem gets WKRC 100, took End Game. The Golden Bolt holder, Giga Boys made a bold choice, took Quantum in the first round. Like I just mentioned, Triton. Tantrum goes to Angry Penguin Robotics, our late entry Sam FM. Team Fixed Witch Bat is taking Hydra, and the Northern Force will take Witch Doctor. We'll get Witch Doctor on the screen in just a moment, but once again, let's cap our first round here in League C. Blip, Zumba, Minotaur, Endgame, Quantum, Triton, I have to remember these new bot names, Tantrum, and Hydra, and of course Witch Doctor, all selected in the first round. And that is a giant B, big B. Shouts to Gary Ginn. Apparently some interesting rumors have come out about Gary Ginn today. So, and free shipping for the 2022 season. Apparently some big changes are coming to free shipping. At least that's what the rumor is right now. I'm not too sold on it. There's not enough images for me to make a final decision though. We'll have to see how it plays out. But yes, this is League C. Taking a live drafting period. As they come along, adding them. In fact, let me before I forget, let me add music to this page. All right, there we go. My apologies. Let's keep going here. Audio real quick. There we go. It's a good little Goldilocks zone there. Perfect. Awesome. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. So yes, let's get Witch Doctor back on the screen. Of course, going to the Northern Force. But now we have Northern Force's second selection to kick off round 2. Yeah, it's time to pull up some draft lists here. Mr. 77, very fancy, sent me a document for his draft list. And here we go. Very good selection for the defending League C champion. From the 2021 runner-up, we now go to the 2020 runner-up. The second selection and the 9th overall pick in League C will be Whiplash. Set that there. Whiplash, of course, not having the best year in 2021. We talked about it yesterday. Sure, they made the top 16, but it was definitely a little controversial. They didn't use the weapon at all in the match which they got eliminated in versus Combot there in the top 16. Very controversial. I was happy to see Combot win, but it's definitely weird. Matthew Vasquez, like I said yesterday, for my money, the best driver in the world. But now let's move back to Sam FM with Angry Penguin Robotics for his next selection. And this is a neat one. Going 10th overall in League C, Glitch. We heard today on the Scorpius vlog, apparently they were having some troubles once again to kick off their season. Maybe not as serious as they were in the 2020 season, I would say. 2021 season, my apologies. But they did say they were coming in, they were having some troubles, they were having some motor issues, some things blew out in the Scorpius vlog today from the team captain himself, Kyle Miller. Hopefully they can get it fixed, because we really hate to see Glitch have more issues. I mean, we were seeing the test drive videos on Instagram. Looked like the bot was driving fantastically. And in fact, in that Witch Doctor fight, we really saw a bit of a tease at how Glitch could be as a fully well-driven robot. It's absolutely terrifying. We already know the weapon is terrifying. So, yes, we have Glitch. 10th overall selection in the draft. As we now move forward here. Actually, I just realized I completely skipped Fixed Wedge Bad. I don't know how I did that, but I'm an idiot. And I hope he doesn't pick Glitch, because that would be very awkward. Thankfully, he didn't. We're just going to move Glitch to pick 3. You heard that. You heard me. We talked about Glitch. I did that goofy. I'm so sorry. Thankfully, I didn't screw anything up. As we now go to Fixed Wedge Bad's actual second pick. I apologize. The actual 10th overall selection. If I can find my image file for it. Here we are. The actual 10th pick. Sawblaze will be going to Fixed Wedge Bad. So my mistake. He does like the wedgelets. I just can't read a team name. Hydra has wedgelets. Sawblaze has wedgelets. He doesn't want no fixed wedges on his team. For some reason that didn't translate in my mind. Happens when you just get off work and you try to go right into a live stream. My apologies. But yes, Sawblaze made it all the way to the semifinals this year. Made it to the top 8 the year prior and top 16 the year before that. So they seem to be only going one direction, and that's up. We'll see if they can keep that up as we now go to Team Red, My Precious, with the 4th overall selection in the second round. And this is a really good one. I'm honestly surprised this wasn't their first overall selection, because if you're talking new robots, there might not be one more terrifying than this. With our 12th overall pick being the Dutch robot. Like I said yesterday, number 10 ranked on the TCC overall rankings, 3-0 with 3 KOs in its career. Ominous, coming from Team Bonks, the team which has brought us robots like Reality in 2018. The legendary Gravity, tough as nails, iconic robots from Holland. Some of the best, quite frankly. Those are 2 of the best Dutch teams in the sport's history. Unifying forces to make Ominous. Absolutely amazing robot. It's beautiful. It's proven. Like I said yesterday, knockout victories over Zakiel, Wormgear, and Nasher. Amazing robot. But let's keep going forward here. Ominous will be joining Triton on Team Red as we now go to Monday Night Mega Mantine. It is Mantine Monday. Quantum will be joined by a robot very familiar to Quantum. I saw this fight all the way back in 2019. We are talking about 13th overall selection going, I'm sorry, not 13th because they have 8, so no need for math. You know how this works. It's Deathroll. Deathroll is the 2nd selection for the Giga Boys here. Still no Gigabyte on their team. But yeah, that's funny. Deathroll and Quantum joining one another. King of Bots compadres. Both of these teams, of course. And also, like I said, meeting each other in the 2019 Battlebots season. I was at that fight, and it was funny. I was outside, and there was a fan. I was talking about fights. He asked me what fights I saw, and I brought up Quantum versus Deathroll happened. Not bringing up any results, of course. And knowing that it ended brutally for Quantum, and Deathroll was 3-0 at that point. The guy was like, oh man. Well, the guy didn't know that, of course, but hearing Quantum versus Deathroll, the guy was like, oh man, that's horrible for Deathroll. Quantum's gonna tear him apart. And I was like, oof. Yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah, Deathroll back in League C. It's been a couple, in fact, first time in League C since League C started in 2020. Of course, 2019 semifinalist, finished 6-1 that year. This will be his first time fighting since Battlebots 2019, so quite a bit of a gap since the last fight, over 3 years. Love to see how it plays out. But now we go to Kringus with WKRC 100. Very good selection here for Kringus. This is a robot, like I said, I'm shocked this robot isn't a first round regular. It's been a second round juggernaut. It's appeared in just about every second round we've seen so far in these drafts. It is, like I said last night, the most destructive robot in the world for my money right now. Will, Bales' Hypershock, We also have Kyle from Hypershock, is a very good friend of mine online. Fantastic group of people, fantastic robot. Like I said, one of the most destructive in the world. Definitely, the United States was the most destructive robot for my money right now. I mean, shoot, beat Tombstone by knockout at Remar's All-Stars, and that is the robot people think of when they think of destruction. So Hypershock at Endgame, a very solid starting 2 for Kringus on WCKR 100. As we now go back to Team Green Square, what does the green team have in mind? And it will be back-to-back Brazilian robots for Green Square here. Dig for the name, but that of course means only one thing: a member of the big dogs. But that was yesterday's draft. This is today. Black Dragon will be selected by the green team. Team Green Square picks up Black Dragon as the 7th overall selection in the second round. Black Dragon and Minotaur making up the starting 2 for Team Green Square. Fantastic duo. But now let's go back to the shitpost team. Nog with the Deadlift Memorial crew right here. They picked Doomba round 1. What will the second pick be? We know he smokes 18 packs a day, so this is what happens when you do this. And actually, yeah, we didn't talk about this robot at all yesterday because nobody picked it. But today, it gets selected. It's a popular robot, don't get it twisted. This robot literally has a hex bug of itself. But for what I believe is the 17th overall selection in League C, I want to say. Rusty will be joining the Deadlift Memorial team. Probably a robot Deadlift will be able to beat. We are using a picture of the 2021 version of Rusty Jr. here, though it is unknown which Rusty will be present at Battlebots 2022, conspicuous by their absence so far. We haven't really seen them in any pit pictures. We haven't really seen them in the Scorpius vlog at all, which is, oh my god, you guys don't see that. I suck at live streaming. It's almost comedic. Sucks for me though. But yes, Rusty didn't really have the best of years in 2020. In fact, I had a horrible year. You know, at least in 2021. In 2020, at least they were getting wins over robots like Scorpius, over robots like Kraken. That was a huge upset in the bounty brackets. Made it all the way to the semifinals. Fought Copperhead to put up a fight. But 2020, not so much. Lost an embarrassing match to Blip. Lost to Witch Doctor. Only faced top tier robots, to be fair. Hopefully Rusty can get a bit of a better shake in 2022. But Nog may not be so confident in that team given his gimmick this year. But we'll have to see how it plays out. Let me go back to the pick board before I spoil more people's draft lists like an idiot. Not that it matters because we have our picks lists already decided out. But Doomba, I'm sorry. Blip has been selected. I'm sorry, Rusty has been selected by the Deadlift Memorial team. Doomba and Rusty kicking off their first 2. And let's clear the board here with all these robots. Go back to Pizza Spartan with Team Pizza, returning after missing the 2021 season, like I mentioned. And we have Small Rose in the chat. She was talking about Rotator just a moment ago, so she'll be pleased to know this. The final selection in the second round for League C will be none other than, like I said yesterday, in my opinion, the best undercutter in the world right now in the heavyweight class. Better than PP3D, better than 008, better than Valkyrie. We're talking about Rotator here. One of Florida's top bots, Victor Soto, is a very good road driver. Rotator, maybe one of the most durable robots in the world. What happened with Glitch was a freak accident, and you know the team has prepared for not having that happen in 2022. I mean, that really sucked for them, but it will be Rotator and Blip joining Team Pizza as we now make another selection here for Team Pizza. They kicked off the third round of League C draft action, and this is a very, actually no, calling Rotator a destructive horizontal spinner I feel like isn't accurate. What it is though is a strong horizontal spinner. It's reliable, and this upcoming robot, what I believe is our 20th overall selection, 19th overall selection in League C. Not a reliable robot, but definitely a destructive robot, definitely a beloved robot. They have selected Combot, coming from the UK. Absolute all-star team. Sam Smith, David Moulds, John Mladnick, Brent Riker, all on one crew. Combot is an absolutely fantastic robot, a destructive robot, and from what I've heard about its first fight in the year, they're looking good. It's going to be an exciting fight, and you got to watch out for this robot. Combot, very impressive last year. Should have won most destructive, if I can be honest. Or at least co-tied with Hypershock. People remember that Gigabyte impact though, but people always remember the Ghost Raptor impact. What a fantastic robot. Fantastic team, Robotic Def Company and Team Carbide. But Combot will go to Team Pizza. As we now go back to the Deadlift Memorial team. Corey Nog with a second selection here. Third selection, my apologies. And oh man. People are doing this robot dirty. I think it's going to do okay for itself. We are talking about Double Tap. Double Tap, the third selection for Corey Nog and the Deadlift Memorial team. I mean, there of course has been rumors about it having trouble getting through safety. We've seen the picture of its shell, its emergency backup shell. It looks like AI generated image, mentioned that yesterday. The weapon's very unique. It's a very ambitious robot, but it's made by a very ambitious team. Ostrich Air has some very unique, fantastic crew members on the team. The team itself as well, they're a proven drone company. We'll have to see how they do as we now hop to Team Green Square here. They have two Brazilian robots in Minotaur and Back Dragon so far. Not a hometown robot, but this is a hometown robot. I love how this robot looks. I already talked about it a bunch yesterday. Now with the lifters, Jackpot will be the third pick for the Green Square gang. And Jackpot, of course, now armed with the lifters. Brand new spinning weapon. They have the slot machine on the rear. This robot can self-right properly. It can fight, it can lift, it can do just about everything it needs to. And it just looks fantastic. I love the render shot I have of it here. Just a beautiful design robot. They made it all the way to the top 16 last year, but had a bit of a disappointing Remor's All-Stars event, appearing as an alternate, losing to Malice by knockout. Malice avenging their loss during the 2021 season. But Jackpot will be joining Team Green Square as we now go over to Kringus. Picking a robot controversial to some, but an absolutely proven robot. He has End Game and Hypershock, two deadly vertical spinners, but he's about to have three as the fourth selection in the third round here of the League C draft will be Riptide. Coming from Ethan Kurtz, Team Break 32 with their 32 rules to success, trying to make it into the top 32 every year. They made it to the top 8 last year, got co-rookie of the year. Now they're gunning. Said recording 0 at the bottom of my OBS. I was like, oh gosh. But yes, Riptide gunning for top 4, top 2, maybe top number 1. Maybe they'll go for the Golden Bolt. They're definitely a solid robot. They made changes this year. They got rid of the lifting arms, sadly, but still a very good team. It's a shame we never got that Yeti matchup. We'll have to see how it plays out though. Riptide, round 3 selection for Kringus WKRC 100. As we now go over to the Gigabytes, the King of Draft official, Mega Mantine. Let's scan through his list here. A lot of his have been taken, including Triton, surprisingly. Wait, no, my mistake. I'm lying. You knew it had to be coming. You knew it had to be coming. His third selection. So he actually got his top 3 picks, which is very impressive for Mantine here. But you can't talk about Mega Mantine without talking about this robot. I'm sure he'll be pleased to get this robot in the 3rd round as opposed to having to watch it go out in the 2nd or even the 1st round by one of the teams. We're talking about Gigabyte, who of course me and Mantine have both raised our concerns over this robot, the full body spinner here. Best full body spinner in the world, best full body spinner in history. It is a fantastic robot, has the Shremek arm. But a new team this year. Of course, we still have Chewy, fantastic roboticist, fantastic machiner as a part of the Gigabyte team. But a bunch of new people on that team. It makes you anxious. It's a completely rebuilt, reworked robot. Mantine also noticed some new details about the robot, which are in our hyper analytical spoilers channel. If you want to check that out, we'll talk about it here because it is a little bit of a nitty-gritty comment. We'll have to see how it plays out though for Gigabyte. Round 3 selection for Monday Night Mantine, joining Quantum and Death Roll. So this is really a bit of a King of Bots vibe here for the Giga Boys. As we now go to Team Red, my precious, the all-rookie crew. And what does she have in mind this time? Double tap got stolen from her. Poor my precious got 2 of her robots stolen. Trying to keep this such a small group of robots, but this is a very good pick. I'm surprised that we've seen this robot go in 3 of the 4 drafts so far. But David Small, he's confident about the robot. We saw him on the Scorpius blog yesterday, and the robot looks great. I said yesterday, vibes of Grim Reaper from Robot Wars Series 7. We are talking about Banshee here. It is a badass flipper, pretty much heavyweight version of Kelpie, which is an NHRL regular, national 3-pound regular, quite frankly. The best 3-pounder in the class. Best 3-pound flipper in the class, I should say. My apologies. Banshee, of course, screams after every flip. Has 4 sturdy solid wedgelets there. Looks like it's going for a bit of a punch flipper style, very similar to Lucky. Have to see how it plays out. We don't know if it's a 4-bar flipper yet. I think it is, but I might be incorrect. But Banshee will be joining Triton and Ominous for Team Red, and my precious could be a very solid team if these robots play out the way that she's hoping for. Sam FM, though, next in line here. We're not screwing up the pick order this time, dang it. Run out of picks here. We're already down to the bottom 3rd of his list. Oh gosh, yeah, we might not make it through the round. We might not make it through the C League draft. He has 4 bots left, but he does have this one, so we will make it at least a little bit further. We are talking about a beautiful drum bot, maybe not at the same prestige level as, let's say, a Minotaur, or maybe even a Riptide, if you want to call Egg Beater's drums. I think it's a person-to-person choice. We're talking about Copperhead, though. Colorado's representative, the sadistic snake, top 16 last year after going 2-0 in the regular season, undefeated. Took out Lucky in the round 32. It was a respectable matchup, even though it didn't make TV. Would make TV this year. That's worth noting. All playoff matches will be making TV this year. It's an exciting thing that we've had broken to us. New captain, though, for Copperhead, but the guy has experience with drum bots, so it's a good selection. The team is definitely still relaxing. We saw they had the signature couch in their pit area, keeping it chill, getting some sleep. They're probably going to need some sleep after 2 days of fighting like we've had today, likely to last. Taping for the day happening probably around right now. Maybe Copperhead's fighting as we speak, but Copperhead going to Team Angry Penguin Robotics. Not really desert, it's not really the Penguins environment, but we have Tantrum and Glitch joining Copperhead. That's a loaded team. As we now go to Fixed Wedge Bad, Ice Wave Squared. Fantastic dude, intelligent dude, and he would have had Copperhead next, so geez Louise. This is still a very good pick here. Very consistent robot. I say it every time. Porinog would be proud. Probably the best multi-weapon robot in the sport right now, especially in the heavyweight class. Ribot from Team WPI, Team Ribot, whatever you want to call him. David Jin, of course, behind the wheel. These guys, a juggernaut in the Northeast live scene. They always take some sort of hardware home at NHRL events every other month. We're talking about robots like Polywog, their horizontal spinner that is escaping the name of me right now. STF? Yeah, STF. various other robots. Polyester is one of them. Stop Hating Yourself is one of them. Very solid crew. Voxel is one of them. And of course, you got Ribot keeping the whole crew together. Undercutter, vertical spinner, whatever it is. It's a high-tech robot. It's durable. It is an absolute brick of a machine. In my opinion, it is the Brutus of our sport right now. It's all business, even if it does have the goofy frog head on the top. What a pick here, as we are about to have 2 selections here from the Northern Force. But let's cycle our picks here. Round 2 ended with a selection of Rotator, followed by a selection of Combot from Team Pizza. The Deadlift Memorial team would go with double tap. Team Green Scare would pick Jackpot. Karingas, WKRC would take Riptide. They have a very terrifying team halfway through this draft. Giga Boys finally taking Gigabyte despite the new team. Some concerns there. Team Red sticking with the rookie theme, going with Banshee. Angry Penguin picking Copperhead. And Ribot going to Team Fixed Wedge Bad. They don't even need wedges with the undercutter, but they still run it with the vertical spinner. And once again, no fixed wedges there. Very good selection. Hydra, Sawblaze, Ribot. I mean, that's 2 semifinalists and the number 3 seed right there. Number 2 seed right there. Terrifying group. Cycling through this one more time. Rotator, Cobalt, Double Tap, Jackpot, Riptide, Gigabyte, Banshee, Copperhead, and Ribot. Our selections here in this second/third round. And the final pick of round 3 will be in just a second. Let's clear our board here. Hope you guys are doing okay. Oh no. My Precious just figured out that Jumba got stolen. I bet she was thinking there is no way anybody is taking Jumba from me. It is literally Jumba. I am going to nuke Portugal for this. That is a fantastic reaction. Well, buddy, Ev, My Precious, Team Red, fantastic captain you are. November 1st, trades begin. Free agents can be swapped out. All that jazz is going to happen. So keep an eye on that. That goes for all the captains as well. Free agency and trading begins on November 1st. Make changes to your team. Get it polished. We're going to have more news updates between filming and Battlebots 2022 in terms of what matchups are going to come out, what updates are going to be made to the robot, various modifications. Lockjaw had quite a modification announced today. We don't know if it's going to be ready for this season, but we're going to have to see. We'll talk about that when we get Lockjaw selected by one of these teams. As now let's jump into the 3rd/4th round here. And we have 2 selections here from the main man, Mr. 77. And I like these picks. I would actually like to see both these robots fight each other, but our final round 3 selection heading to the Northern Force. It makes sense. This is the king of the Northeast, according to Battlebots. According to Battlebots champions, best hammer bot in the world. Watch out for the Merry Special. Shatter will be going to the Northern Force, joining the likes of Witch Doctor and Whiplash. Very impressive crew right there. Adam Wrigley, an excellent driver. We've already seen the featherweight version of Shatter knock off White with the shuffling legs, advance to the NHRL finals. We were talking about it yesterday. It's going to be a very busy final quarter of the year for Adam Wrigley, especially with Emulsifier also on the Bots FC roster for Battlebots 2022. But let's keep moving forward here with our first selection in the 4th round. The Northern Force, will also be taking another good robot here. We go from one of the best hammer bots in the world to one of the best horizontal spinners in the world. This robot took out the 2020 Battlebots champion in the season. It won Battlebots End Game. We're talking about bots and stuff with Bloodsport here. The first selection in the 4th round. Bloodsport, like we mentioned yesterday, an overhauled look for this year. There's still an overhead spinner, but they have the top weapon hub. They still have the stream back arm. They have the forks up front. It just looks absolutely sturdy if you look at the pictures of the robots that are available on social media, on Reddit, on our King of Draft Discord right now. The robot looks insane. It's the real deal, and that means Bloodsport, Shatter, Whiplash, and Witch Doctor will make up 80% of the Northern Force this year. We have a California robot, a Southern robot, and 2 Northern robots, so finally some proper Northern Forceage happening here as we go back to Team Fixed Wedge Bad. Ice Wave Squared, what does he have in mind? Sam, what is the plan? I wish I didn't have to type in your name each time. Oh, shit. Alright. I really hope his last 2 picks don't get taken. Otherwise, we're going to be at a stalemate here. But we have this pick, so thank goodness for that. So our next selection. Beta will be our second pick in the 4th round of the League C draft, and will be joining Angry Penguin Robotics. I'm sorry, I did it again, didn't I? I did it again. So let me explain this. A fixed page badge is 08, yes, at the top of the page. So for some reason, I just don't see it. But Beta doesn't have wedgelets, so I think we're safe. So I'm going to move it right here. I can't believe I did it twice. It's bad enough I did it once. Twice. And of course, selected Robot, prior round. We're also going to pick Bloodsport next. Everyone was getting ready for Bloodsport. But I think he'll be happy with this selection. Some people have called this the second coming of Urquhart. But for me, this is Anna Zolnikov's 30-pounder, turned into a heavyweight. And I'm so excited to see this. Also remember the big dogs. And now remember a fixed wedge bad that is not a fixed wedge on the front of Ripperoni. Ripperoni with the secret sauce, that deadly vertical spinner, the wonky asymmetrical chassis design, and asymmetrical wheels. It is a wild-looking robot, but it is Pete Abramson's pick as a Rookie of the Year this year. It's a bold prediction. We'll see how it plays out. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with a new robot like Ripperoni. Even I'm aware of that with this robot on my roster, but I'm just so excited to see this robot in action. So my mistake there for the Hargle Squargle. Did that twice over. I can't believe it. Ripperoni, our second pick in round 4. Beta, our third pick, going to Team Fixed Wedge Bad and Angry Penguin Robotics, respectively. But now let's go back to my precious with her selection, 4th selection of the draft in her all-rookie roster. And this robot appeared late in the League B draft, but did end up making an appearance. And it will be making its second draft appearance right here. Yet another rookie robot. We are talking about Horizon. What an absolutely fantastic design. I horribly described it during yesterday's stream. Horizon, of course. Overhead spinner. Has 2 spinning weapons on each side of that overhead spinning module, which spins the entire thing around. It is very impressive, and you can watch the 12-pound version of this robot, Skyline, Fight, NHRL, Smashbots, and various other live tours which happen around the U.S. Very exciting robot. You should definitely watch it and watch their application video. They're a good team of people. But yes, Horizon will be joining Ominous, Triton, and Banshee on Team Red as we move forward to Monday Night Mantine and the Giga Boys. He selected Gigabyte last round. Who will it be this time? Well, I'll tell you what. The King of Bots theme is going to continue. If you love loud people, and you love excellent drivers, you love WWE style promos, and your Battlebots, you love this guy, Mad Catter, the incredibly active robot, maybe the most active heavyweight in all of 2022. Like I mentioned, competed at Battlebots, competed at Champions, competed at Remars All-Stars, competed at Robotica, crazy active the last year and the year prior. And it's deserved it. It's a super impressive robot. They weren't able to run the spinner. They had to use a wheel at Robotica, so that kind of diminished their win-loss record a little bit this year. But at Battlebots, they went 2-1, took their only loss to the Red Hot Saw Blaze, or I should say Green Hot Saw Blaze. Made it to the top 32, had an all-time classic fight with Back Dragon, but suffered a loss on a split decision. Got knocked out in round 32 for its second straight season. Maybe we can see them make the top 16 this year. You gotta know the Giga Boys are hoping for that as the King of Bots trend continues here. Quantum, Death Roll, Gigabyte, Mad Cat are all 4 of these robots. Very well known in China. Now let's go to Kringus for his 4th selection in WKRC 100. He selected Riptide last round, and we'll be selecting, we're going to have not back-to-back, but both the Bots FC robots going in one round by the looks of it. Lou Rong was saying, hey man, don't laugh about this robot. I picked him in League B to join the Tane Tasters for a reason. It's a good robot. Ignore the tracks. It's a deadly vertical spinner. I already said it has shades of Aftershock. It's been very successful as a 30-pounder, but how will it be this year? We're going to have to wait and see. But Emulsifier, our 6th selection in this draft. Treads and all, vertical spinner, very deadly. At least it looks very deadly. We're going to have to see how it plays out. I mean, compared to robots so like Riptide, Hypershock, and End Game, it's a lot of hype to try to live up with. We'll have to see how it plays out as we now move on to Green Square. Team Green Square for their 4th selection. Of course, Green hit the jackpot last round, picked up jackpot, and they're going to be lucky once again. They're going to get their first 4 robots on their draft list back to back to back to back. That is quite neat. Has anyone picked this robot yet? I feel like, yes, someone picked it in League B yesterday. We talked about it during the end of the stream in the late rounds. Going in round 4 today, so it's another late round robot. We are talking about Malice, the 2-wheel drive horizontal drum. They're bringing out the forks this year. We saw it yesterday on the Scorpius Live Builder blog. My apologies, the Scorpius Builder blog. They still have the big red. They still have the rolling blackout. They still have the purple Punisher. All their classes of weaponry. They did good at Remars All-Stars. They went 1-0 with the knock-it-over jackpot. Went 1-2, but still managed to make the playoffs in the top 34. Funny Sorial. Lost a couple key people. They lost David Small to Banshee. But still a very good robot. I definitely think that there's a lot to look forward to with Malice this year in the brand new fork configuration. So Malice will be joining their robot boyfriend. That's what the team calls it, not me. Jackpot on Team Green Square. That's awesome to see. I also know the Green Square, good friends with Team Malice. So that's nice. So let's move forward here. We got more Porinog. We got more Deadlift Memorial shenanigans. We have Doomba, Rusty, and Double Tap already on this roster. And this just seems like shade to me. I feel like this robot is better than Pori's shitpost team. But he's going to be selecting the 2022 South Florida Fair Heavyweight Championship. We saw it in January earlier this year in Miami. Gruff, our 8th selection in the League C draft. That's just messed up, man. I know Gruff had a pretty rough 2021 champions. They went 0-1, lost to Glitch. Battlebots' main season. They defeated Switchback by knockout, but probably would have lost that fight if it went to the judges. And then got torn apart by Hydra and Cobalt, 2 top 16 level robots. They were eviscerated, especially by Cobalt. Kenny Florian put it best himself. Sent the robots straight to hell. But there we go. Gruff will be joining Double Tap, Rusty, and Duma for the Deadlift Memorial team. As let's run through our 4th round selections here. The Northern Force picked up a couple of Northern robots from New York and Massachusetts respectively in Shatter and Bloodsport. The brand new Omega team, not a cult. They have Chef Frederick Moore as their driver. Ripperoni, the 2nd selection. Beta going to Team Angry Penguin Robotics. The rookie crew of Team Red, R for Rookie, R for Red, selecting Horizon. What a beautiful robot that is. The all King of Bots robots, it seems to be so far. Team Giga Boys going with Mad Catter. Emulsifier, surprising pick in round 4 for my apologies. WKRC 100, Team Green Square helping their buddies out, selecting Malice, and then Porinog with the shitpost team. Picking Gruff. That's dirty, man. Grump's a good robot. It's going to get some wins this year. Let's go ahead and wipe the board. We're going to have 2 selections from Pizza Spartan, and here in just a moment. And of course, following this draft, immediately we are going to have the League D draft. And then the RFC draft. And that will conclude the 2022 King of Draft draft. And of course, Team Pizza so far, Blip, Rotator, Combot. Their first 3. And then you gotta go a little bit. Oh no. Alright, yeah, this isn't good. Alright. That's how it goes though. The final selection. And damn it. The final selection. In the 4th round. Heading to Team Pizza. A robot that only got picked once in one of these drafts, if I'm correct so far. Got ignored in 2 of them. Maybe just 1. I know it got ignored in Attendee League, which is a surprise to me. A lot of those guys know the Scorpius team pretty well. Oh, Jesus, just spoiled who it was. Yes! Scorpius, our final selection in that round. What do I want to put up right there? Scorpius, of course. We talk about it a lot in this stream. We've been referencing the Scorpius Builder blog. It's been a huge source of info for us so far. Scorpius, though, has been selected. Very solid robot, plenty of configurations. They have the hammer saw, they have the saw, they have the taskbot claw, and they have the brand new overkill blade. We'll probably be fighting Overhaul at some point this year. That was teased on the Scorpius blog. We had a chair fight last year. It's going to be a sword fight this year, most likely. Watch out for that. Vengeance in Vegas. Scorpius versus Overhaul. But who did they pick last? Who will be the final robot selected for Team Pizza? Minotaur, Amish, Shatter, Witch Doctor, Gigabyte, Ripperoni, Rift, Death Roll. All picked. No luck there. But they can't have this robot, they can't have Ripperoni, but they can have the other cult-related robot in this team. We're talking about the alien conspiracy machine itself. We've seen it at NHRL, we've seen it make it to the NHRL finals last year. Still trying to make it this year. Success at Motorama with the 30-pound version Starfather, but this is the 250-pound version, Starchild. Full version of the robot. It was almost going to be called Star God. I guess they couldn't get that name qualified through. That's a bit of a shame. But yes, Starchild will be joining Team Pizza. Wrapping up our first team roster of the night. Team Pizza will be Blip, Rotator, Combot, Scorpius, and Starchild. What a group. Hopefully Starchild has a good team, has a good run this year. They're also a member of the Big Dog. So I want to see success from that robot. Let's get the ball rolling here. Who will be the last member of the Deadlift Memorial Squad? Corey wants a pack of losers, and that's probably what we're going to get. And speaking of Overhaul, we're going to be talking about it here finally. Another... Corey's the only person selecting new robots here. And fittingly so. We were just talking about the sword fight. Well, Overhaul will be the final pick for the Pori crew. The Deadlift Memorial team. It's a shame to see Deadlift go. Overhaul will be carrying its legacy. Grabby-Bot Nation. That's what Charles Guan always says. He has 2 samurai swords to tie to that robot's front. Can't wait to see that fight hopefully happen against Scorpius. Blue robot versus blue robot. Should be good. I just want Scorpius to use that overkill blade versus someone this year. Ideally on TV. Beggars can't be choosers though. Let's now go to Team Green Square. They won't get lucky getting Witch Doctor. They won't go 5 for 5, but they will go 6 for 5. 5 for 6, I should say. My apologies. As Jen, Herc, and Rotor's surprisingly effective undercutter, Hijinks, will be the 5th and final selection for Team Green Square, making their team Hijinks, Malice, Jackpot, Black Dragon, and Minotaur. Raise your eyebrow at that team if you want. All 5 of those robots made the playoffs last year. Minotaur, top 8. Black Dragon, top 16. Jackpot, top 16. Malice, top 34. Hijinks, top 32. It's a solid crew. Hijinks has definitely upped its durability game. They survived matches against Whiplash and Sawblaze last year. It's a pretty effective robot, and when that weapon packs a punch, it packs a punch. I would have to say Kraken vs. Hijinks, one of my favorite fights from last year. Let's keep moving forward. Kringus has made a deadly group of vertical spinners thus far. With this addition of Emulsifier, who will they be adding next? Well, want to be a vertical spinner last year. It's fitting. We're having a lot of perfect segues. Like I said, Kraken vs. Hijinks, probably one of my 3 favorite fights from the 2021 season. But this is a new Kraken this year, and it will be interesting to see if maybe we can get a rematch. Kraken will be the 5th and final selection for WKRC 100, making their all-vertical spinner crew. That's right, if you haven't seen it yet, Kraken now a 4-wheel drive vertical spinning crusher. Kind of hammer saw, kind of crusher, kind of vert. The weapon spins both ways. It's very fascinating. I have a message from Mantine here. Ooh, I have a unique comment from Mantine here. I've been giving his pick live. I like it. Yes. Kraken now vertical spinner, which means the all vertical spinner team with Kringus, Endgame, Hypershock, Riptide, Emulsifier, and Kraken make up that roster. And sent to me fresh from the presser from the Giga Boys, it will not be an all King of Draft team, sorry, not all King of Bots team, but it will be a group of robots which do have international experience and have appeared on other TV shows. Like I said yesterday, people originally knew this robot as Toron, but now it's Monsoon. Not coming too soon here. 5th overall selection in the final round, round 5 here in League C. Monsoon has been selected by the Giga Boys, making this all international experience crew. Quantum from England, Deathroll from Australia, Gigabyte and Mad Cattle from the US, and Monsoon also from England to wrap up this team. And to put this bluntly, we're really going to be out by 2 picks. That's funny. This is going to be our last selection on stream for League C, as I'm out of robots on Angry Penguin Robotics' roster here from Sam FM32. If you don't believe me, let me I'll pull up the draft list. I mean, there's not much to spoil here. And I'm double checking it. I don't want to do anything goofy, but yeah. Overlay. There you go. Tantrum, Endgame, Glitch, Witch Doctor, Deathroll, Whiplash, Black Dragon, Sawblaze, Blip, Hydra, Hypershock, Minotaur, Quantum, Rotator, Copperhead, Beta, Bloodsport, Scorpius was his list. And I need one more, buddy. If you're on stream and you're watching this, please send me one so maybe we can get this going. But for now, our final selection from Team Red, my precious. I lose connection. There we go, it came back. They're a unique robot, unique concept, bit of a hybrid spinner combo. The Extreme Warrior style design on their... They have an Extreme Warriors theme with their team get up. Very Jurassic Park-esque, fitting. Very popular franchise right now. We're, of course, talking about Terratops, capping off the rookie group here. And quite frankly, I would have thought Terratops would maybe go before Horizon. But I'm just not confident on Horizon. It's a beautiful robot. I'm glad to finally see it happen in real world, come to fruition. But Terratops, our final public selection here on stream for League C. 3 more picks left. We still need our 5th and final pick from Sam FM Robotics, Icewave, and Mr. 77. Icewave and Mr. 77 probably have theirs, but we're gonna have to wait for Sam FM to send me his. And we got 2 more drafts. Maybe we can get that done before the night is over, but it's 8:44. We don't want to go too late tonight. But to finish it off here, that means Team Red will be Triton, Ominous, Banshee, Horizon, and Terratops. Let's go back to me and let's cut the general chat here. Brigade Sam FM. Call him names. No, don't do that. I'm kidding. Let him know that he has to make one more selection so maybe we can get this draft happening before the stream has to end and we don't have to do it tomorrow just because that'd be messy. If you don't know the draft pool, we got scrolling in the bottom on our bottom ticker here. And of course, while I'm pointing at that, please check out the Combot Collective's inner social medias. We have our Instagram, _Combot_Collective, our Facebook page, the Combot Collective, our Discord page, which you can find in our Linktree, and of course our YouTube page. If you're new here, please give us a like, comment, and a subscription. We appreciate everything that you guys do. Talk about the King of Draft, talk about the 2022 Battlebots season in our chat, please. We're going to be doing the League D draft here in just a moment. We're going to be running over the order for that draft one more time here, right now. Starting off will be one of our pure rookies this year, who Team 01 with Who's That. Coach Soft will be following him with the Fluffy Boys. Luke 497 with Team Big Drum Energy. Team TARDIS users who has sent me, I believe, new team name. So let me check that. Yes. I like this team name. Not Team 21 anymore. They are Team Swamp Thing for the nuts. No Swamp Thing this year, but he will be at RoboGames 2023. Shouts to Rick Russ. I think he follows the Combot Collective. We love Rick Russ. We love Death Star here. Following him will be Average from Team Shell Shockers, which also sent me a team name change. Should probably take care of that real quick. That team, I really wish I weren't here right now. Love that name. And then of course we have a guy who was a guy who appeared during our Amidst the Havoc live stream. Chaotic Robotics. They had Filibuster for that live stream. Team Chaotic works. It's awesome to see him here. He's a King of Draft regular. He's also in the Fantasy Football League that we run on the side. And then we have my fellow Bronco brother. Shouts to Bronco, the best flipper of all time. Oblivion Prime will be selecting 7th overall with Team Bronco Forever. And then our defending champion, the League E winner, now in League D, Team Quintessential Failure, led by Zach. That's our group, and let's get to some picks here. Let's go back to the pick board here and wipe our board clean. Once again, Sam FM 32, if you're out there, or Sam FM 8, my bad. Keep on saying 32 for some reason. If you're out there and you're watching this, or if someone can let him know, I need one more, maybe 2 more picks from him. Send him the league document too, so he knows who's been selected. Shoutouts to Mr. 77 for holding the fort down with the league announcements. He's an absolute babe. We got some chatter in the League B area right now. I'm in League B. Let's see what they're saying. McHamish, Mr. King of Draft himself. Happy that he got Tantrum and Blip again. Who can blame him? Green Square thought he was going to get a emulsifier. Nope. Got taken by somebody, I believe. Got taken by Kringus, in fact. Lou Wrong, B Duddy, talking it out. League B is awesome. It's hard to be better than League B. I'm sorry. Well, talking about League D here. Let's make the change here with this. Put a giant capital D right there. 1 draft down. 2 to go here as our pure rookie, Who Was That, with Team 01 making a very predictable selection, 1st overall here in League D. Like I said, this robot's not going to be leaving the 1st round. That's just a constant. In fact, I believe it's the 3rd time this robot's gone 1st overall. Definitely not the 1st time during the 2022 King of Draft. We're towards talking about the Killer Kiwi, led by Jack Barker and Nick Maybe. End Game, the 2021 Golden Bolt holder, 2020 Battlebots champion. I've repeated these accolades 4 times now, 5 times in fact. You don't need to hear more. End Game, badass robot, and a great selection for Team 01. That's how you want to start off your rookie crew for your rookie campaign, your maiden voyage, your King of Draft, picking End Game. So now go to Coach Soft with the Fluffy Boys. From one deadly vertical spinner, we go to another. The 2nd overall selection in League D. I love Team Soft. I love Coach Soft, I should say, and Team Fluffy Boys. I love the name. Not Fluffy Butts. I almost called them Fluffy Butts yesterday. From New Zealand, we go to UK. Two robots which have fought each other. Wouldn't mind seeing a rematch from 2019. We're talking about Combot, Deadly Vertical Spinner, destroyed Gruff and Ghost Raptor in the 2021 season. Made it to the All-Star semifinals back in June at Las Vegas with the US crew there. Combot is a fantastic robot. Driven by Matt Maxim this year. They have the old crew, Dave Molds and Sam Smith, back this year. Should be a deadly force. They're ranked very highly on the TCC overall rankings at 16. Number 11, I believe, on the Battlebots overall rankings. Great selection for the Fluffy Boys. Now let's go to Luke 497. Big Drum Energy. Who does he have in mind? Well, I don't know if it's a drum, but it's definitely a good pick. Another robot which has yet to leave the first round, and I'm sure that's going to be a trend heading into our final draft, the RFC League, to close out our night. We are talking about, seems reasonable, of course, to have this robot on your team. No pun intended. Of course, the pun was intended. What am I talking about? Where is he? He's here somewhere. He's the 2021 Battlebots champion, our defending champion, Tantrum. Of course, captained by Alex Grant, Ginger Schmidt, fantastic crew. They have an amazing driver. The robot just won't die. Acts good as a vertical spinner, acts good as a defensive robot. Can even throw robots out of the arena. Threw Rotator out of the arena in the top 16. Threw Combot out of the arena in the top 8. It's a proven commodity. As we now go to Team Swamp Thing for tonight. You can't pick Swamp Thing in this draft, but you can select a full body spinner. You know, we were talking about this robot not going out in the first round at all this time. We saw it go a couple times during the 2021 draft, which was to be expected after that amazing 2020 season it had. But we're talking about Gigabyte, of course, from the Robotic Death Company. Both the RDC robots going in the first round. In fact, only a pick apart. That is a very impressive first 4 robots right there. Gigabyte had an absolute barn burner against Tantrum in the round of 32. Some people, myself included, would say that maybe Gigabyte should have won that fight. That is, of course, comes up to one's opinion. Gigabyte, though, will be joining Team Swamp Thing for the night. My dog has just smothered me. Hello, Bella. Can you go outside, Bella? Can you go potty? Alright, duty is called. Hey, Bella, calm down. My dog is letting me know she needs to go potty. So I will be on intermission. I will be right back. I just dropped my chair on accident. Letting everyone know this? Come on, Bella. back. Dog has been let out. Business has been done. Apparently the camera got jangled because it wasn't over there a second ago. Let's check out those picks here. Capping over what has happened so far, Team 01 has selected End Game, the Fluffy Boys selected Combot, Team Big Drum Energy picked Tantrum, Team Swamp Thing for the Nut picked Gigabyte, who will also be at Robo Games, fittingly enough. And now Team I Really Wish I Weren't Here Right Now has selected Sawblaze for the 5th overall selection in the draft. Excellent pick here from Team I Really Wish I Weren't Here Right Now. Of course, like I said earlier, made top 4 last year. Some internal changes for the team. No Lucy Dew this year. They got rid of she didn't get rid of her. She's now the captain of Valkyrie, of course. Robot that we haven't seen drafted so far. I don't think they got drafted at all during League C. Maybe that's something that Sam FMA can pick if he sends me that next draft pick. But now let's move on to Team Chaotic Works. Friends of King of Draft make some fantastic robot models. You can see them on Instagram, see them on their YouTube page. I believe they have a YouTube page. But also make some fantastic robots. Also making some fantastic picks. Their first overall selection will be Team Waiachi's Hydra, another 2021 Battlebots semifinalist. Made it all the way to the All-Star Finals this year, Remar's All-Stars. Definitely an excellent choice for the crew. Hydra will be the cornerstone of Chaotic Works. And maybe the ire of Team Bronco Forever. Maybe there's some PTSD there for Oblivion Prime. But his own first selection will be Witch Doctor, the 2-time runner-up last year. It's a shame they were not Remar's All-Stars. They could have made runner-up there as well. Fantastic driver, Mike Galately. Maybe the most underrated driver in the entire sport. There's certainly a few of them. But Mike Galately is definitely one of them. Fantastic driver. They have great weapon balance. The Shreemek's always consistent. The robot's fantastic. I mean, that fight against Hypershock during the Golden Bolt semifinals, stuff of legend. Probably my favorite fight this year. But now let's move to our final round 1 selection. And I've been saying it all draft, yesterday and today. Why isn't this robot a round 1 robot? And it's fitting that I just spoke about this robot a minute ago, because it's time to finally see the one, the only buddy of Witch Doctor. In fact, these guys literally share a workshop. It was brought up on the Golden Bolt tournament, and of course, they also, where is it? Let's get them out of here. There he is, Jesus Murphy. The final selection in round 1. The 2022 Remar's All-Stars champion. Number 1 ranked robot on the Combot Collective's overall rankings right now. Will Bales' Hypershock from Shenanigans & Co. Up there with Florida's best teams like Team Revolution, like Team Bustin' Nut Robotics. But there you go. The tail of the tape duo, Witch Doctor and Aftershock. The last 2 picks in this draft going to Team Bronco Forever and going to Team Quintessential Failure, respectively. And we don't have to do no double up business for this because we don't have 9 people in this league. Thank goodness. We Team Quintessential Failure. We'll be kicking off the second round here in just a moment as we have capping off our first round. Let's recap it here. Team 01 takes End Game, our third time seeing that robot first overall, I believe, at least the second time. The Fluffy Boys taking Combot. Team Big Drum Energy getting Tantrum. Team Swamp Thing for the Nut taking Gigabyte, veteran team there. Team I really wish I weren't here right now, taking Sawblaze. The Chaotic Works take Hydra. Team Bronco Forever taking a robot which has lost and beaten Bronco, Witch Doctor. And Team Quintessential Failure taking Hypershock. Our All-Stars champions, the last 2 robots selected. Our Floridians, the last 2 robots selected. Good robots there. Let's keep it moving on and wipe our board here. Take a drink, take a breather. As Team Quintessential Failure still on the clock. Who will they be picking to kick off round 2? Our defending League B champions. I was just saying, you know, we didn't see Valkyrie in the League C draft, my apologies. But we're going to be seeing it pretty early here. The 9th overall selection in League D. In the first selection of round 2, going to Team Quintessential Failure, the robot which Hypershock beheaded Valkyrie, now captained by Lucidoo. Of course, we talked about it yesterday. Leanne Cushing out as Valkyrie captain. Her final matchup as Valkyrie captain was the one in Vengeance in Vegas, where she took on Orby Blade and Team Orby. It's a shame we don't have Orby here this year. It really breaks my heart. Hopefully we can see them in 2023. But I've made my opinions clear on that. Valkyrie going to Team Quintessential Failure. As we now move on to Team Bronco Forever. And a lot of his picks have already been taken. After Witch Doctor, it was Sawblaze and Hypershock. They've already been taken, sadly. So they're gonna have to sell for their next selection. Their 6th robot on their draft list. It's a force to be reckoned with. We saw it go very high. We saw it go in round 3 in our prior League C draft that we just did. But this time, going in early round 2. 10th overall selection, in fact. Team Break 32's Riptide. Of course, mentorship from Greg Gibson of Team Yeti. Very proven robot, sponsored by Exometry. They don't have the lifting forks like we mentioned. It's all spinning drum this year. It's a robot to watch out for. Top 8 last year, co-rookie of the year. Definitely a terrifying machine. Witch Doctor and Riptide, 2 4-wheel drive vertical spinners. Absolute juggernauts to kick off Team Bronco Forever as we now go back to the Chaotic Works. Who took Hydra, of course, in the first round. They're going double dip on their flipper fix. The team must love their flippers because we're not going to see the Seems Reasonable Robotics guys be on the same team like we did with McCamish in League B. Nope. Blip will be joining Chaotic Works alongside Hydra here. Our 3rd selection in this group. Of course, Blip also appeared at that Remars All-Stars event, much like Hydra. Went out in the 2nd round after defeating Whiplash and losing to Hypershock. Also made it to the top 8 at Battlebots 2021. Had an impressive 3-0 season. Went all the way to a 5-0 streak before losing to Hydra in the quarterfinals. But Blip itself ranked 7th on the TCC overall rankings, ranked 10 on the Battlebots rankings, so definitely a robot to watch out for. Is rated highly no matter who you talk to or where you go. But now let's go to the team. I really wish I weren't here right now. See what they have in mind. What does the average Joe want for his crew? He doesn't have a draft list. Actually, he does. I lied. He has a pretty decent sized draft list. And he has a huge selection. Actually, I made that joke twice. 3 times even yesterday, so I'm not going to make it again. Huge will be the 4th overall pick and the 12th overall selection in the League D draft. Going to team I really wish I weren't here right now. Huge and Sawblaze on the same team. That's a matchup I've been begging for since 2018. I feel like that would make a very unique style contrast, but it could still be a quality fight in my opinion. Could be a big time control match. I'd like to see what Jameson Go would use as an attachment there, but I'm sure Average would not like to see that match. Doesn't want to see his top 2 robots go at it. And now let's go on to TARDIS users. The original Team 21 now known as Team Swamp Thing for the night. Maybe next year, buddy. They picked up Gigabytes. Now they are going to pick up. Oh, wow. We have another first for the draft this year. This is exciting. Wait, maybe I'm wrong? No, I guess someone picked it yesterday. I just don't remember. But more has come out about this robot since yesterday. There's rumors about our 5th overall selection in round 2, 13th overall. Free shipping has been making some major changes for the 2022 World Championship. If you're more than just a lifter this year, it looks like in some of the pictures we've seen of the robot, maybe they have some different weapon attachments. Me and some of the TCC crew were speculating about this earlier today. Keep an eye out for free shipping pictures in 2022 because this robot may be a little bit different this year. But you want RoboGames regulars, free shipping, and Gigabyte, Team Late Night Racing, and Team RDC respectively, making up the first 2 picks for Swamp Thing for the night. Let's go to Luke now for Team Big Drum Energy. What does Luke 497 have in mind? Tantrum was his first pick, and now he will be going. Let me make sure that no one else has this robot. I don't think so. Yes, sir. Joining Tantrum, a Battlebots champion, will be a former Battlebots finalist. The bull from Brazil went in what I believe was the first round in our League C draft. Only round 2 this time. Minotaur, our 6th selection in the second round, 14th overall pick, will be joining Big Drum Energy. And quite frankly, what robot has bigger drum energy than Minotaur? Maybe X Backwards, but guess what? X Backwards ain't been here for 2 years. Ain't been on the King of Draft board. Has competed. Still an active robot, of course. If you follow the Combot Collective, we talked about Robot Ruckus back in November. We saw X Backwards compete there, but I'm digressing. This is about Minotaur. Minotaur, top 8 last year. We talked about it earlier. Very impressive robot. Daniel Freitas, one of the best drivers in the world. But now let's get to the fluffy boys. With Coach Soft, what does he have in mind? Excellent selection here. The Porinog Classic, one of the most versatile robots in the sport. Not much more I can say about it. Ranked number 2 during 2021 Battlebots season. Ribot also went 4 straight wins during their Battlebots Champions campaign, 3 of them by knockout to get itself into the Golden Bolt bracket. This is a sick robot right here, and it's only going to get better with this year. You already know it. Shout out to WPI Robotics and the whole Robot team. They're a fantastic group of people. When I was making that regional info document last year, they really helped me out with robot info. Love those guys. They are our next to final pick here for Coach Soft and the Fluffy Boys, second round of the draft here. And let's go to our pure rookie. He's going to have back-to-back selections here, talking about who is that. 1801. He's going to make away with some good robots here by the looks of things. Checking, making sure that these robots are indeed available. I don't want to have any goofy moments like I did yesterday. And yes, sir. Good first 3 selections here. As our final selection in the second round will be none other than another former Battlebots runner-up. We have a pair of those in this round. And Earl, which also went in the second round of the League C draft. Where is it? There it is. Jesus. Whiplash. Of course, captained by Matthew Vasquez. Fantastic driver, fantastic team. Fast Electric Robots have been around literally. This is almost a start of robot combat. You can go all the way back to the early seasons of Battlebots and Robotica, where Deadbot was one of the best middleweights in the world at the time. A middleweight which went to a heavyweight finals in Robotica. Absolutely insane. But that was back then. This is now. This is King of Draft 2022. Round 2 concluded as we have our League D champion. Team Quintessential Failure picking Valkyrie. Team Bronco Forever going Riptide. Chaotic Works taking Blip. Average and Team I really wish I weren't here right now taking Huge. Team Swamp Thing for the Nut taking Free Shipping. Big Drum Energy going for Minotaur, of course. The Fluffy Boys going for Ribot, and Team 01 taking Whiplash. Running it over one more time. Valkyrie, Riptide, Blip, Huge, Free Shipping, potentially changed. Minotaur, Ribot, and Whiplash. Let's clear our board as we have our third round selection already written down in the league document for who is that. A robot which was also selected during the League C draft. I don't think this robot has missed the draft yet. Maybe it missed the Attendee League draft, obviously in a much smaller draft. Rookie of the Year. We just saw Riptide go out in the prior round. Well, this round, of course, people know what we're talking about with that robot. Started off its career 7-0 despite missing the 2021 playoffs. We're talking about Glitch, and like we mentioned earlier in the stream, they are having some early technical woes, something we weren't really expecting, but if they can get it fixed, this is an amazing third round pick for Team 01 and the rookie who is that. We're gonna have to see how it plays out though. We're gonna try to pick up the pace here a little bit. Fluffy Boys with Coach Soft. What does he have in mind? I'm really surprised at this robot that I'm about to announce has been picked in every league. I know I already mentioned that. Didn't get picked in the Attendee League. Less picks means it's probably not going to get selected. But even then, it's getting picked pretty early in some of these drafts. As I believe, yes, the Fluffy Boys' third robot will be the Tracked Terror Emulsifier. Bots FC's second robot. They're splitting squads for this year. We aren't seeing as many split squad robots. We saw BNS Robotics and Flash Electric Robotics both try split squads out last year, and both really didn't do too well for it. Their signature robots kind of ended up suffering because of it. Whiplash and Bloodsport not having the best years last year, even though they both did make the playoffs. Emulsifier, though, trying to buck the trend a little bit, do what seems reasonable did, and have two championship-level robots on their team, alongside Shatter, of course, who had a bit of a rough year last year. We'll see how Emulsifier does, though. Interesting to see who ends up driving the robot. Maybe it'll be Eric Wrigley. We know that their other member, the fella from Chicago, will be captaining the robot. We're going to have to see how it plays out, though. Let's keep moving on now, though, to Team Big Drum Energy, Luke 497. With his third selection in the draft. And it's funny, we were just talking about Bloodsport. That is going to be his third selection. Like I just mentioned, Bloodsport, Team BNS Robotics, they tried to do split squads last year. It didn't really work out. Retrograde only had one real moment of shine during the Battlebots Champions tournament where they got the upset victory over Mammoth and were able to really take Glitch to its limit. I still think Retrograde may should have been the winner for that fight, but I digress. That's a fight which happened literally over a year now, as crazy as it sounds. Bloodsport, though, the third selection for BNS Robotics. Only running Bloodsport this year. No Retrograde, even with the new design, which would have been cool to see. Only one robot. Team Big Drum Energy getting not a drum there. I will say that is the exact opposite of a drum. And a robot which actually lost the drum in the playoffs last year. Maybe it's a pity choice. Who knows? But now we have TARDIS users again with Team Swamp Thing for a Nut. Verifying this selection, making sure this hasn't been taken yet. And I think we're good. Team Swamp Thing for a Nut has Robo Games medalist teams in RDC and Late Night Racing. Well, we also have a lightweight Robo Games medalist here in Constant Creation, which means the fourth selection in round 3 of the League D draft will be none other than this sadistic snake. Once again getting picked here, Copperhead, like I already mentioned earlier, brand new captain, but it's the same deadly robot with a new aesthetic. Copperhead made top 16 last year. We know the team can be good. They made top 8 at Battlebots 2016 with Poison Arrow. Made it all the way to the Final 4 at ClashBots 2018 with Spicy Newt. The team has a pedigree for excellence. Just don't look at 2019. That was a bit of a teething year for them with the new Copperhead. Still an absolutely beautiful robot. A lot of potential there. Going to Team Swamp Thing for tonight. We're going to go back to our average Joe, though, for team. I really wish I weren't here right now. What does he have in mind? He has a cat in mind. That's what's going on here. He's already picked Sawblaze. He's picked Huge. But now he is going to be selecting a robot which went, I want to say also in round 3. Might even been in the exact same position, to be honest, as I don't even have to move the bot. Mad Catter will be joining Sawblaze and Huge. On team, I really wish I weren't here right now. Sawblaze, Mad Catter, of course, fought last year during the episode 4 main event. That was a pretty good fight. Sawblaze, though, winning that one, and I believe was a KO. Might have been a judge's decision. I think it was a knockout, though. Mad Catter still trying to break out of the top 32. Been very active this year. Plenty of driving experience and a fantastic driver with Calvin Eva behind the wheel for that robot. As we now go to Chaotic Works. Chaotic Works picked Blip last round. Was actually going to have Mad Catter in his 3rd pick. Got stolen, though, by Average Joe. That's interesting to see. So who are they going to pick instead? Can't pick Huge, can't pick Tantrum, can't pick Robot, but you can pick this robot. And I believe this is the latest this robot has gone so far, so let me make sure that nobody has selected it. No, sir. Look at that. Getting to the back half of these round 3 picks. We're over the halfway hump for tonight's stream. Aussie, oi, 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 Death Roll will be joining Chaotic Works, joining Hydra and Blip. So 2 flippers and a very, very deadly vertical spinner. Team MJ Robotics, the team behind Death Roll, of course, has been very active in the Australian scene, running 3-pounder events, light ant weight events, other small bots events. But first heavyweight foray since that top 4 finish in 2019. We're all looking forward to seeing Death Roll again. It was my first overall selection on the big dog, so definitely near and dear to my heart as we go back to Oblivion Prime. Team Bronco Forever. A team which already consists of Witch Doctor and Riptide. Apparently the lo-fi is too loud. Let me turn it down a tiny bit. I hope that's a little bit better. Failure. Yeah, I just put lo-fi in the background as just something easy. It was copyright free, so not trying to get to some nitty gritty nonsense put on my my stream here. Copyright business. Sorry, just double checking a couple things before we make this next selection. I believe we have Team Bronco Forever's next pick, but I want to make sure it's correct. Already has gone Riptide and it has Witch Doctor in their ranks. And here's a robot that I think also has gone the latest so far. Very unique drafting style for League D so far, but they are picking good robots. They seem pretty serious about these selections. 3rd selection here, though, for Team Bronco Forever. This is a robot which never fought Bronco. They only shared a season once. I would love to see that fight. It seems like it would be a perfect robot for Bronco to toss off. But we're talking about Black Dragon, another proud member of the Big Dogs here. Will be joining Team Bronco Forever in League D. Brand new, beautiful paint job this year. Look at those dragon eyes. I absolutely love to see it. 2020 semifinalist. Top 16 this year. Hopefully they can get a little bit further. Maybe to the finals this time finally for Uriah. We'll have to see how it plays out. But Team Quintessential Failure. Our final selection in the 3rd round. Already has Hypershock Valkyrie. And once again, this robot keeps finding its way in these drafts. People are rating this robot highly. I think its weapon setup is a little too not abstract, but maybe a bit too ambitious for me to want to draft it on my team. But Terratops, the rookie, the proven rookie damn near at this rate, breaking through safety on the very first day. We haven't seen that since 2015. Terratops will be joining Team Quintessential Failure, our defending League D champion, League D/League E champion, joining the likes of Hypershock and Valkyrie. Let's run down our round 3 here. Glitch. Sorry. Yes. Glitch going to Team 01, our other pure rookie besides Personizzle. The Fluffy Boys taking Emulsifier. Fluffy Boys need a fluffy bot with some treads apparently. Luke 497 and Big Drum Energy taking a very much not drum bot and Bloodsport. Team Swamp Thing for the nut goes Copperhead. Team I really wish I weren't here right now takes Mad Catter, the charismatic Martin Mason's robot. Team Chaotic Works takes Death Roll, a very good selection to join his pair of flippers so far. Oblivion Pride, Team Bronco Forever has selected Black Dragon, and our defending champions, Team Quintessential Failure, pick Terratops. We are going to be cycling over to round 4 here in just a moment. One more time, Glitch, Emulsifier, Bloodsport, Copperhead, Mad Catter, Death Roll, Black Dragon, and Terratops this round. Some surprises here, but also some robots we just knew we're going to be seeing. Robots like Death Roll, Black Dragon, Copperhead. Very, very talented, very, very impressive machines. I keep accidentally turning the background off. Get Emulsifier out of here. What is he doing? Get out of here, dude. Get the K. Let's keep moving forward. One rookie, Terratops, we now go to another rookie for Team Quintessential Failure. This is a bit of a surprising move for our defending champion, going for so many rookies. But once again, this robot has yet to only miss one King of Draft so far this year. David Small from Arizona's Banshee will be joining Team Quintessential Failure this year. A lot of hype for this robot, maybe the most hyped up rookie, pure rookie that we have this year. David Small, a new heavyweight captain, but Banshee, very much an old school style design. We've seen Kelpie run this design. We've seen various other flippers from David Small run this robot. Look. As we now go back to Team Bronco Forever here. Sorry, forgot to put in their last robot. Last selecting Black Dragon. They were actually going to pick Banshee after that. That's funny. Keep running into these damn near so close incidents. But they're going to have to settle for this one. Probably inadvertently the most talked about team we've had on this series of draft streams so far. Of course, being Scorpius, the multi-weapon wonder. Very hard to kill. Those new forks on the brand new Scorpius that we've seen in these preview videos look absolutely killer. And we know that they're setting up an ear configuration for their first opponent, whoever that may be. But strong start for Bronco Forever. 80% of the team being Witch Doctor, Riptide, Black Dragon, and Scorpius. That is a solid pack of machines. Now let's go to Chaotic Works. See what Chaotic has in mind for his next to last selection. He selected Death Roll in our last round, of course. And now going with the robot ranked number 32 on Battlebots' overall preseason rankings. TCC, not as forgiving. We're factoring in fight data, and this robot has lost plenty of times this year. It is ranked number 103 on the TCC overall rankings, and that's even with the KO win it had against Hijinks this year. I am, of course, talking about Mammoth, appearing in its second draft out of the 5 that we've had so far. It's a sturdy robot. It's a stick bot, sitting at over 6 feet tall. Ricky Williams, the captain. They have a dog this year. They have their own little Pain Pooch. We know Pain Train has a dog. Pain Pooch also has a little bit of competition this year. Maybe we can get a bit of a dog fight. Not actually, Jesus Christ. But maybe a match between Shredder Bro and Mammoth. I would certainly love to see it. Mammoth, though, rough year last year. I believe they went, 1-4? No, 1-5, because you got to factor in Vengeance in Vegas. Very tough year for Team Mammoth. That's why they sit 103 on the TCC overall rankings. With no live events to save them this time. Let's keep moving forward here. Mammoth joining Chaotic Works. Team I really wish I wasn't here right now is up with their 4th selection. Goodness. I'll be damned. This robot has made it into 3 of the 5 drafts so far. It's made it into half of the drafts. The round 4 selection for Team I really wish I weren't here right now. Doomba. Doomba, of course, we saw it go 2nd overall to kick off our stream earlier tonight. Picked by Porinog's Deadlift Memorial team. Also selected by another team, I believe in League B, maybe League A. But it's also going to be a piece of Team I really wish I weren't here right now. Maybe the mascot for the crew. Doomba, I really hope this robot isn't an alternate. Maybe it won't be. People seem to be really excited about the bot, so here's hoping otherwise. And now, Team Swamp Thing for the nut. What does TARS users have in mind after selecting Copperhead last round? Has quite a pick, I will say. And I like this pick. I'm glad that we've been seeing this robot get selected in almost every league so far. In fact, I think it only missed Attendee League. We're talking about the new glass cannon, horizontal spinner, Triton, once again back at it. Not picked so early. Was picked, I believe, 2nd or 3rd overall by Team Red in our last draft that we had earlier. Now selected by Team Swamp Thing for the nut. And RoboGames roots, I guess if you want to be technical, sure. You know, there's a little bit of a trend here for this team so far. We've seen Deep Six make its Robot Combat debut as a lightweight at RoboGames in 2018. Bradley Hanstead, of course, very known for RoboGames with robots like VD, which will be at RoboGames this year, but also robots like the Full Body Spinner Double Rainbow Party. Horizontal Spinner, just like Triton. This robot is absolutely insane looking. Totally vicious, as we know, go back to Luke 497 for Team Big Drum Energy, and he will be selecting for round 4. Oh my god, this is a steal. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, I did have it correct. I thought I was looking at his 2021 list for a second. I panicked. But nope, this is accurate. His next selection, 4th selection, and this is a draft steal in my opinion. Rotator will be joining Team Big Drum Energy, who's really not many drums here. I mean, they have Rotator, so I mean they have Minotaur. I'm sorry, so that kind of makes up for it. I would love to see Rotator versus Minotaur. That'd be a beautiful fight. But Rotator not selected so far in League D. That's a shock. Bit less experience in League D. That is sort of their gimmick. That's what League D is known for. Some of the newer members of King of Draft are present in this league. The Rotator, absolute draft steal. What a great pick for Team Big Drum Energy late in the draft as we now go. So I'll be biased. My personal favorite. I love Dr. Soft. I love seeing how well Mr. Fluff does in these. The Fluffy Boys, who selected Miss Emulsifier last round, are making a pick of a robot that we haven't seen selected since Attendee League. Surprising to me, because I think this robot looks absolutely awesome this year. We talked about it a little bit. Overhaul of the design at the same level as Kraken or free shipping. We have Switchback, Texas's sole representative, captained by Greg Needell. Almost said Zach Needell for some reason. Let's update that. Switchback on the league document. Switchback, of course. Now a chonky whiplash. That's what I've been describing it as. very much a oil, coal style, construction looking design robot. At roots of a FRC robot, which are fitting given it is Rev Robotics. But I think this is a great selection. I was this close to selecting Switchback for my reserve pick, and if I get a chance, I'm definitely going to be selecting it as my, generally having Switchback on my team this year, and it will probably be my reserve pick, given we'll see how it ends up going in the reserve draft if we end up needing to do it. But Switchback, present right here, as we now move forward here to Team 01, our pure rookie in this draft. Who does he have in mind? He already has End Game Whiplash and Glitch, Apollo Murderer's Row. Who will follow that? He would have Rotator next, so that just tells you how high priority it was to get that robot right now. But now he will settle for, make sure that this robot hasn't been selected. He is going to settle for Hometown Glory, and he wants to hit the jackpot. That's right, Jeff Waters, the brand new lifting arms on jackpot. It's a damn good looking robot, and it is going to be the 4th selection here for Who Was That. A lot of fans in Las Vegas for jackpot. It is a real intangible. I said it last year. A lot of these builders, they're from California, they're from Wisconsin, they're from New York, they're from the East Coast, Massachusetts, Florida. They're staying in the builder hotel. Jeff Waters and the Vegas crew, they're going home every night. They're sleeping in their own bed with their own dogs and cats, their own pets, their own family. Huge intangible, being able to have that, peace of mind, going home to your own place each night in Vegas where the season's recorded. I think that's a big thing for Jackpot and Team Jackpot. Probably a reason why we saw them do so well last year, aside from the fact that is just a damn good robot. Constantly improving with the lifters, new spinner, got the slot machine on the back, more robust. Beautiful choice here as we recap our round 4 selections here. We capped it off with our defending champion team, Quintessential Failure, turning some heads and picking, Banshee, our first round 4 selection, followed by Scorpius, Mammoth, Zumba, a surprising pick there by I Really Wish I Weren't Here Right Now. TARDIS users, Team Swamping for the nuts, going with the big spinner in Triton, Luke, getting a draft steal and rotator, Switchback going to the Fluffy Boys, and then, it's Burp City tonight, Jesus. Team 01 capping off the round by going jackpot, hitting the jackpot. Sorry, I got a message from one of the officials in general. Wanted to make sure I replied to that. But yes, there we go. We're going to clear the board, and we're going to have our final selection from our rookie, Who Was That, in just a second. And what will be, if I'm correct, 31st overall pick. 33rd, my apologies. Where's Banshee? Get out of here, Banshee. I need that spot. As we start round 5, the first selection in the 5th round of the League D draft, the final round of the League D draft. Checking the list, making sure I have the selection accurate. This is a good one. Round 5, I almost want to call it a steal because I am rating this robot very highly. Maybe the best European robot we will see this year. Not saying that with a lot of top UK competitors in this field, but Omnis will be the final piece of Team 01's puzzle. Like I already said, 3-0 this year with 3 KOs at Extreme Robots back in May. It is a badass design. Helped Team Inferno get some huge points during that stop. But here at Battlebots, they will be joining Team 01 in League D, joining Endgame, Whiplash, Glitch, and Jackpot to make up the rookies roster. That's a damn solid team for a rookie. As we keep it moving on here, who will Mr. Fluff have for the Fluffy Boys? That's not the right Fluffy. I have no clue who this person is. Here we go. Switchback was the selection last round. And he will be picking, we got back-to-back European robots. Look at that. We only got 5 this year and we're getting them back-to-back. This robot, I was wondering if this robot was going to get not drafted at all after going in the first round, last round, 5th overall selection by the Bad Giga Boys. Nope. They're back. First time in League D, and they are going to be joining the Fluffy Boys, joining a roster which already has Combot, Ribot, Emulsify, Switchback, and now Quantum on the team. I really like this group of robots. I really hope Emulsifier and Switchback and Quantum pull out the latter 3 for this team. Because Combot and Ribot, that's a solid 2 robots to start off with. But we're just going to have to see how the schedule lays out for Emulsifier, Switchback, and Quantum. Quantum has a good chance against a lot of these robots, but when you're a Crusher, you got to make sure you're pinpoint. We saw that against robots like Death Roll and Lockjaw during its debut season, only going 2-2. But Quantum does very good against non-vertical spinners, and there's a lot of them this year. It's a good variety. It's a good diverse field this year at Battlebots. Love to see how it plays out. But let's keep it moving here. Final pick for Luke 497, Big Drum Energy. Rotator was the pick last round, and what a good pick it was. We're seeing a lot of this robot in the final rounds. People are like thinking, oh, maybe I want that robot. Maybe I'll take a gamble and use it as my final 5th round pick. And you can see why. There's a lot of promise with this robot, but a lot of speculation. We're talking about Kraken, our 3rd selection in the final round of the League D draft. They will be joining Team Big Drum Energy. Team Big Drum Energy for sure, because they literally have one big drum on their team, Kraken. Now, of course, a crushing vertical spinner, the 2nd evolution of Kraken here. 4-wheel drive in its design, but still very impressive, and it looks like Wally the Narwhal will be returning for the 2022 season, which is exciting to see. Bigger wheels as well. It seemed like the Narwhal never could really drive well, never could really get out of the square. Big monster truck wheels on the robot this year. Makes me excited. So let's keep moving forward here. TARDIS users, Team Swamp Thing for tonight. We'll be selecting the Triton. And now they will take talking about this robot a little bit. It really hasn't been drafted too much, but he will be selecting just as Waiachi bot here, so I guess whichever one was available. This is a weird one. Fusion as his 5th and final selection, joining a team roster which consists of Gigabyte, Free Shipping, Copperhead, Triton, Fusion. And that kind of kills the RoboGames team right there. Surprisingly, Team Waiachi Robotics never really messed with RoboGames. Like we said yesterday, we almost didn't see this robot in the 2022 season. The team made it sound like that robot was not coming back. Maurice Eward is back with his classic Wisconsin voice and his lack of regard for opponents. Destroyed Rampage during the 2020 bounty tournaments. But here we are, they're back. Fusion, round 5 selection for Team Swamp Thing for the nuts. Let's keep moving forward here as team. I really wish I weren't here right now. Sorry, adjusting my seating. Make his 5th and final selection, the average Joe, the average man with an average plan. And shit. We're gonna have to stop this draft early too. I'm out of picks. Death Roll, Black Dragon, Endgame, Lip, and Kraken are his remaining robots. So I'm gonna message Average as well. Letting him know. So yeah. In just about the same spot as we had to stop for our League C draft. We stop in League D with, what do we have so far here? Team 01 capping off their selections with Ominous. The Fluffy Boys capping it off with Quantum. Team Big Drum Energy capping it off by releasing the Kraken. Team Swamp Thing for tonight capping it off with Fusion. And team I really wish I weren't here right now. We gotta wait for a pick. We don't have a pick yet. He did message me at 7:54 p.m., so maybe we'll get one. But in the meantime, tell you what, it's 9:43. I guess we probably have a little under an hour left on tonight's stream. We're gonna do the RFC League in a little bit. We'll talk about the history of it. It goes all the way back to 2016. It's a great group. And maybe after this intermission, we can go ahead and finish League D. I'll be back and give me a drink. I'm gonna eat something real quick. And then we'll be back. I do want to say hello again. Get my face on the screen again. I don't know how many people are still on stream, if many at all. We have 7 right now. I love that you guys have showed up for this. If you were here back-to-back days, you're freaking awesome. I've been really excited about this whole draft day live stream. And outside of a few winky-wonky issues that we had, I like to say things have gone off without a hitch so far. It's been fantastic. A lot of things like the ticker, the updates, the pick board, have all gone like I've been wanting it to go, so that's really cool. I will be right back. Gonna take a powder, drink something, and then RFC League, and maybe the end of the League D draft in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned here at the King of Draft to Combot Collective, whatever you want to call it. Hey Adam, you're just in time. We're about to begin the RFC League draft. Chaotic, you went for a theme with these robots? Excuse my ignorance. Is it animal theme? Maybe? I'm happy to have you here, man. Hey now, Adam, I don't know these things. Alright, seriously though, I'm gonna go on intermission. Thank you all so much for being here. I will be right back for the RFC League draft. lost all my viewers. Alright, I'm sorry. I have returned. I had to sit back for a minute, get me a little bit of water, but we are going to be streaming the RFC League draft in just a moment here. Let me cut back to yours truly. Our final draft. Our draft weekend. Draft week. I guess it's not the weekend. It's a damn Wednesday. We got our Buble here. Stone cold, baby. And of course, RFC League. If you don't know the history, has been going on since 2016. Let me go to my proper overlay here. We'll pull up the picture. Yes, RFC League. Like I said, 2016 when we founded King of Draft for the first time, it was literally just a fantasy league I did with some of my friends in my old RFC group I ran when I was a teenager. It's cool to see what it's become now. We've had over 100 different people compete in King of Draft over the years from numerous different countries. Some of them even got on to become Battlebots competitors. So yes, in 2016, we had Jess Bloxer, who's probably playing chess in New Jersey somewhere now, win the first season. He had Tombstone carry his team that year. And then we had Bobby, Seppi Tester, as some people know him as. Some people also know him as Ethan Shipley, captain of Broken Gears Robotics. You've seen him on NHRL and MRCA streams before. He competed as Team Bobby for back-to-back seasons. Won King of Draft in 2018 since it was only RFC League again that year. And very interesting year 2018. We factored in Robo Games, King of Bots, Clash Bots to that year. So it was a crazy season. People had like 20 robot teams. And then in 2020, Justin 111207, who was from New York, once applied to Battlebots with a tractor-style robot. With robotic arts, he won King of Draft completely that year. Didn't make one trade or free agent transaction once. Won King of Draft. And then, of course, last year we had Nicky Dustle Owl, the man from Detroit, our Detroit brother, go and win the 2021 season. And he will be our final selection in the first round today. He is back. As we go through that draft order real quick here, we have Mr. Redman, who has yet to miss a King of Draft season with Team Bag of Shelves. We also have Rainer coming back from last year in the second slot. Third selection, Team Crystal Carnage. Crystal was in League E last year, followed by Lucha, another one of the people who have yet to miss a King of Draft season. Myself, Lucha, and Mr. Redman, the only three people who have yet to miss a King of Draft season with Team Sterling Brown Fierce Condiments. I hate the name. I hate the team name. Gotta admit it, but it is true. I hate me some condiments. They're absolutely gross. People know that though. Person who jumped from Team B, from B League to the RFC League, KoD Red, with the KoD Red Bullshitters, heavyweight competitor with Deadbot, also competes in the 3-pound class, MRBK with Team ULL, going 6th. And then we have two powerhouses here. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Big Dog Swin with Team #Swintertime. Swinter is coming. Swin to win. Going 7th overall. And then, like I said, the Detroit man himself, Nicky Dusty Owl, going last in RFC League. So let's not waste time. Let's get this bad boy cracked open and started here. We're going to hop over to the pick board right now. Let's clear our board for Fusion, Quantum, Kraken, and Ominous here. 9:56 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you all for staying up and watching this stream. Probably about, I don't know, 45 minutes left in the stream. We'll see how quickly we can get through the RFC League here. Actually, I lied. We have our final picks from the D League. Average has just replied. So we're going to know this in just a moment. And then after we get these 4 picks, we are going to jump immediately into the RFC League. the meantime, I am getting the selections. Oh, here we go. He's made a choice. Time to... Oh, big selection here. Yeah! And with this pick, maybe this isn't the first time this bot has been picked. Maybe it is. I'll be damned. For our 36th overall selection. That's right. First time it got picked in this stream so far. Spin the win, baby. Captain Shredderator will be joining team. I wish I wasn't here. And we didn't really get a chance to talk about Shredderator, so let's do that real quick. Captain Shredderator, of course, kicked off Battlebots this year with one of the biggest upsets we've seen, especially one of the biggest upsets during the 2021 season in Episode 1 against Tombstone. That was crazy, and they managed to carry it in through a season of their career. Shredderator had yet to miss a Battlebots season, but only just now finally made the playoffs, made the top 32 cut for the first time since going all the way back to Frisbee during Season 5.0 of Battlebots, Season 4.0 of Battlebots. Update right there. Brian Nave, Nick Nave. I am super tight with Nick Nave, so I am super happy to see Captain Shredderator get its flowers and get picked here as we can finish League D. Look at that. Let's now go to the Chaotic Works crew and see what their 5th and final selection is. To recap, Hydra, Blip, Death Roll, and Mammoth make up Chaotic Works so far, and I like this next pick. A lot of weapon variety. This is a robot which actually knocked out Mammoth during the 2021 season in round 3. We're talking about Lucky, the sole Canadian representative this year. No, pardon my French. It's a shame to see them miss the cut, but they had a very rough season last year. 0-3, I believe, was their final record with losses against Claw Viper, Valkyrie, and Cobalt. You hate to see it. But Matt Olson really helped Lucky out last year. I said it during the stream yesterday. I think Matt Olson is probably my rookie of the year. Fantastic driver. People need to get more RC drivers. Maybe that'll be the new meta for driving your robot, captaining your robot, making sure you have the right person behind the wheel. He did excellent last year, even against the 2021 Battlebots champion Tantrum in a very contested fight. Definitely watch out for Lucky. That could be a very, very good pick. Round 5 for Chaotic Robotics. Could be a lucky pick. Let's keep moving though. Oblivion Prime, Team Bronco Forever. Who does Oblivion have in mind for his final pick? He already has Witch Doctor, Riptide, Black Dragon, and Scorpius, 3 deadly vertical spinners, and a control bot and Scorpius. Control bot / spinner. I don't know what you want to properly call it. Let's say. Make sure this is accurate. And yes, it is. Well, if that sword fight does end up costing points, exhibitions usually don't, but maybe this one will. Then, kind of tough luck for Team Bronco Forever because they have Scorpius, but they now also have, if I can find him, Overhaul, captained by Charles Guan, joining their ranks. Overhaul, of course, 2015 Battlebots top 8 member. That was their highest ever placing. They right now have a career record, I believe, 3, 4, and 13 overall. So, hasn't been the best robot, but it certainly is a beautiful robot. It can land suplexes, and maybe it'll be sturdy. Wasn't as sturdy as last year. Maybe we'll see it this year. Held its own big time against Black Dragon, even though it ended up losing the judge's decision. Overhaul, definitely a pick to take it here. We'll see. But now we have our 40th and final selection from our defending champion, Zach. Team Quintessential Failure, also known as Vortex Games. He already has Hypershock, Valkyrie, Teratopsa, Banshee on his championship defense team. Who will he add last? I'll tell you you what, for being a team of champions, this is a very unique team because we are going to get our third newcomer robot on this roster. I don't believe we saw Star Child get picked in this league, but we will see Ripperoni be the very last robot to go. And if Ripperoni lives up to the hype as essentially being the new version of Uppercut, that is a huge selection. 40th, very final pick in the entire draft. That is insane. We'll see how it goes, though. We got to see how that secret sauce ends up working. For my sake and the big dog's sake, I hope it gets picked well. But that's where we go, right there. Ominous, Quantum, Kraken, Fusion, Captain Shredderator, Lucky, Overhaul, and Ripperoni make up round 5 of the D-League. We have a full group right there. We're still waiting on Sam FM selection, but let's not waste too much time. Let's wipe the board right here, right now. We already have the first selection for the RFC League on deck by Mr. Redman, Team Bag of Shelves. These guys have, like I said, been around since we could draft Nightmare on our rosters. What the fuck? Oh my god, I thought I was getting broken into. My dog has just entered the room abruptly. Hey, Bella. No, we already went out. You don't need to go out again. Almost done, sweetie. Can you believe these dogs? Whimpering at me, asking for attention. I can't believe it. But anyway, let's kick it off with Team Bag of Shells. Mr. Redman, fellow TCC co-host, had a bit of a rough year in 2021. I believe only 10 points managed. And part of the reason is because his first overall was last year was the first overall this year. He loves him some Mammoth, as Mammoth will be the first overall selection in the RFC League draft. Like I already said, 1-5 last year. It was a very disappointing run for Mammoth, even though it did make the top 32, and it sits at number 32 on Battlebots' preseason ranking, sits at 104 on the TCC rankings. But that's the pit robot he wants, as we now hop to my fellow Texan and Rainer. And the weird picks are going to continue. I said that we were going to see a Lockjaw pick eventually today, but I didn't realize it would come so late. And the second overall pick, flip-flops, will have a cornerstone of Lockjaw on their roster. And we can finally talk about some of the crazy things which have happened with Lockjaw this year. Let's switch over to General and our solo camera here, because I want to use my hands for this. I'm going to be right back. Close the door. Just realized that y'all saw my pizza pants. Be a little bit more sneaky crawling in this time. Bust my knee on my desk. So yeah, Lockjaw situation. Looks like Tazbot might be coming back. Might not be. It's a weird slippy slope situation. And quite frankly, the robot doesn't look like it's ready. But yes, if you haven't seen the Scorpius blog today, I mean, it was literally in the thumbnail. It's probably on the Battlebots subreddit, probably all over Battlebots Facebook, UDA, whatever community you're in. Tazbot potentially returning as a module? Question mark for Lockjaw. It looked like it was far from completion when Donald Hudson was working on it in the Scorpius vlog video, though that was yesterday, maybe even day before yesterday. So who knows what's going on. But it does have a similar motion. It's still, you know, a twacking hammer. Can spin at a 180-degree motion. My dog's doing something weird over there. Sorry. And apparently it attaches to Lockjaw. Now, my theory for what it kind of... In fact, let me see if I can find a picture of it in hyper-analytical here. Yeah, let's talk about it. So Lockjaw this year has this huge, absolutely huge fuck-off anti-spinner plow on the rear of it this year. And this thing looks like it takes up a lot of Lockjaw's weight, personally. Maybe I'm wrong, but this looks like it's a large chunk of Lockjaw this year. They probably had to cut some weight from the robot that I had to guess. This is all guesswork, I will say that. And if this is like a 40-pound, 60-pound module, maybe Lockjaw can switch this out for the Tazbot configuration. Maybe it's sort of like a ground zero escape velocity thing like we saw during the 2016 Battlebots season. But whatever is going on here with Lockjaw, it is definitely a very fascinating story that the Combot Collective is definitely going to be following. Here's a picture of that Lockjaw module. I mean, it's literally just a giant Tazbot. It looks like a giant Tazbot. You would have had me thinking that this is just Tazbot all over again. Maybe they were going to make a second robot for the 2022 season. They're just showing it off. Maybe for the Vegas live events. I don't know. but maybe it's for this season. It looks pretty incomplete to be for this season. They were literally popping the gears out in the video, so we'll have to see how it plays out. Lockjaw might be a crazy pick, second overall, with some of the changes that we know are announced. But after an 0-4 run last year, I mean, they're ranked number 114 on the TCC overall rankings. Battlebots, much more forgiving. I don't think they should be ranked on Battlebots' rankings, but they are. Sitting at number 25, 114 in the TCC rankings, though, like I said. So, interesting pick by Rainer here. My fellow Texan brethren, as we know, got a team Crystal Carnage, and as expected, 6 leagues up, 6 drafts up, I should say, 6 drafts down. Tantrum will not be missing round 1. Probably just like Endgame, but for the first time, Tantrum will be drafted before Endgame here. The 2021 Battlebots champion, our defending champion, that banner probably already out and revealed for everyone now, but we're still waiting to see it here, us people in Texas and the rest of the world. Tantrum, though, just reliable, strong, even looks better this year, I'd have to say. This is the 2021 render we're using in this picture here. But it's a fantastic robot. Let's keep moving on here. There's not much more we can say about it. Team Sterling Brown Fierce Condiments from my fellow Texan and Astros fan in Lucha. Astros, man. Can you believe those cheating bastards? But I digress. He was in attendance at Robotica. Could have done some guerrilla interviews for me, but he didn't. Maybe I'll see him this year at Robotica if I get the chance. Whiplash has been selected as the first overall pick for Team Sterling Brown Hates Condiments. Or loves condiments, fears condiments. I certainly don't love condiments. That's fake news. Let me adjust this before I forget. Final time to adjust it. Bittersweet. There we go. There's a very janky R on the left, isn't there? Kind of has like a mullet kind of thing going for it. But I digress. Whiplash. Top 16 last year. Top 2 during the season prior. Appeared at the All-Stars event, went 0-1. Trying to get some revenge. Maybe we can see the spinner more this year. But let's keep moving on to the Code Red Bullshitters. And, you know, Code Red turned some heads by selecting Fusion, first overall in the League B draft last year. This year, though, a bit more of a traditional selection. We've seen this robot go in a lot of first rounds. Today, though, 5th overall selection for RFC League is Brazil's Minotaur, Final 2 in 2018. RoboGames champion in 2015, STEM-Tech Olympiad winner in 2014. RioBots will be at the NHL Finals this year after, I believe, winning the 12-pound class at in the September event. Maybe the July event. I think it was the July event. But yes, Minotaur, Daniel Freitas, Marco Mediolario. Fantastic group of people there. Let's keep rolling along, though, with Team ULL, the UK team. Or one of the UK teams. We have quite a few UK people in the RFC League. In fact, our next 2 selections, MRBK and Swin, both jolly old Brits. And just expected for a Brit to be picking a Brit flipper. MRBK has faced plenty of them with Deadbots. Some of the best robots in the world. Eruption, Ironoff 6, Zagkiel, Aftershock. He's fought them with his robot. But I don't know if he'll ever get a chance to fight this guy. I would like to see it for his sake. Talking about the Battlebots All-Star semi-finalist. The robot who's ranked number 6 on the TCC overall rankings. Was ranked number 2 for quite a while until recent changes. We're talking about Blip. Final time we're going to see it. And it's been a very common robot to see in the first round selections. In fact, I believe this is the 3rd or 2nd time we've seen it selected in the first round during the TCC drafts. It's been very good, but now we move on to the big dog, Swindlebots JP with Team Swinter time. Swinter is indeed coming. Battlebots airs January 1st, and we got Swinblaze, Sawblaze, whatever you want to call it, as our 7th overall selection in the RFC League. Swindlebots with hashtag Team Swinter time takes Sawblaze as his first overall pick And now we got back-to-back picks from our defending RFC League champion, Nikki Dusty Owl. Trying to do a little bit of Detroit smash. And we have a very smashing robot. First round selection here for Nikki Dusty Owl and Team Taco Hell. Maybe not a popular pick, but certainly a proven robot to have in your first round group. Riptide. I believe this is the first time we've seen Riptide in the first round. I might be mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Riptide. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. The voice is starting to go. Thank goodness this is the last rounds of drafting for me. But yes, Riptide, our final selection. 2-0 at Vengeance in Vegas. Got victories over both Bloodsport and Jackpot in the main event. Riptide, though, undefeated in the regular season. Actually, no, 2-1 in the regular season. Top 8 during the playoffs. Didn't compete at Champions, of course. We'll see how it does this year. The first pick for Team Taco Hell. As we run down these really quick. Bag of Shells, Mr. Redman, yet to miss a season, goes with Mammoth. Team Flip and Flops, Rainier, takes Lockjaw. They're pretty fired up about that. They're throwing out the crab dance emojis. Team Crystal Carnage makes away with a bit of a steal, taking Tantrum in the third round. Holy shit, there's no end game. There's no end game here. That's mental. That is genuinely mental. Keep going here, though. Lucha has taken Whiplash. Let me make sure that's right, because now I'm all paranoid. Like, there's no way none of them took Endgame, right? No, that's right. None of them took Endgame. Okay. Lucha, Adam, whatever you want to call him. 4th overall selection, Whiplash. Followed by Minotaur, another runner-up there to 5th overall selection. Blip from MRBK's team. 5th, 6th pick. 7th pick, Team Swindabots. Swinter is coming. Swinter time. Sawblaze. And then our last pick just now made. Nikki did pick Riptide. And now we have one more selection from Nikki Dusty Owl to kick off the second round. But first, let's wipe our board here completely. Boom. And once again, this robot seemingly known for round 2. We kick off round 2 with a robot which I think it's been round 2 in all but one draft. One draft, last draft, in the League D draft and went round 1. Went to Team Quintessential Failure. But this time in the RFC League, joining Riptide. So this is a badass duo right here, Hypershock and Riptide, to kick off the second round of the RFC League. Alex Bales maybe driving the robot this year. We'll have to see how it plays out. She won Remar's All-Stars single-handedly while Will Bales did commentary. At least, at the very least, we'll probably see them switching, going back and forth, as we now go to Swin, who has Sawblaze already, and finally took 10 picks. Took 10 damn picks to finally see this robot get picked. Y'all are just letting Swin walk away in round 2. Double-digit selection with Endgame. Endgame joining Sawblaze, a robot which it beat last year. 2 top seed level robots, perennial championship contenders to make up the first 2 positions on Team Swinter Time. As we now go to Team ULL, the Robotier heavyweight Robotier MRBK, not Mr. Burger King. This guy means business. He has Blip. Well, just like Chaotic Robotics, we are going to see Flippers helping Flippers out. His second selection is going to be the American-style Flipper of Hydra. Known for shooting robots way up into the air. Maybe this will be the year which Jake Eward finally gets a robot into the ceiling. We almost saw Black Dragon throw Perfect Phoenix into the ceiling at Battlebots Champions. Came only feet away. That robot went 25 feet up in the air. It was absolutely mental. Maybe we'll see something like that this year. Hydra, Jake Eward, certainly looking for something this year. We'll have to see how it plays out as we go to KoD Red Bullshitters. Who will KoD Red choose this year? Living eternally in infamy after making the choice of Fusion last year. But he has a pretty good team this year. He already has Minotaur. He can't take Endgame Hydra, Saw Blazer Tantrum, but he can take this robot. Another perennial round 2 robot, I'd have to say. And it's fitting. Back-to-back second place finishes for this robot in 2021. Witch Doctor from Team Busted Nuts Robotics. I guess that's a fitting team name for Team KoD's bullshitters. Witch Doctor will be joining Minotaur, robot that's very familiar with Witch Doctor on the KoD Red team. 4th selection in the round as we now go to Team Sterling Brown Fears Condiments with Adam Robotics himself, the man they call Lucha. He already has Whiplash, and now it's time to say stop. Hammer time. And we're not talking about Shatter, we're talking about a proper hammer, the old best hammer robot in the world, easily the best hammer robot in international territories. Beta, captained by John Reed. They have Gabriel Stroud as well, CEO as a tech company, in the pit crew, along with some other people. We talked about the fact that Jason Marston is now part of the Beta team, Team Hertz for the 2022 Battlebots season. That is a huge get. Like I said, probably the only other robot as synonymous as John Reed when you talk about hammer robots is Jason Marston, known for robots like Thor, AU Thumper, Warrior. Has quite a history, and Beta will be joining Whiplash in Team Sterling Brown Fierce Condiments. As we now go to Team Crystal Carnage, they snuck away with Tantrum in the 3rd overall pick last round. We will see what they do this time. And oh my goodness, crazy good selection. Crazy good pair of robots here. You want to talk about versatile robots that are going to manage knockouts still, go deep into fights, win fights, and not get knocked out themselves? You gotta talk about Ribot joining Tantrum as part of Team Crystal Carnage. That is a fantastic 1-2 duo. I would seriously love to see Tantrum versus Ribot compete against one another. That was a main event level fight, in my opinion, for the 2022 Battlebots season. We're definitely gonna see some Tantrum main events this year. Give us that match, man. Both those robots deserve more main events this year, I think. As we now go to Rainer. Fellow Texan here with Team Flip and Flops. Flip, Flip, and Flops. What are we going to have? And we have Rotator. I like this selection a lot. This robot went very late in our prior draft, in the League D draft. Went in the 4th round. That was a steal in my opinion. But Rainier knows what's good. That person loves horizontal spinners and loves Rotator. Rotator will be joining Team Flip and Flops on their roster. Victor Soto, a fantastic driver with surprisingly soft hands. Best undercutter in the world, in my opinion. 3rd best robot from Florida. The robots made the top 8 before in the 2018 season. Holds the most destructive award after disemboweling Ice Wave that year. We'll have to see how it plays out this year. As we now go to Team Bag of Shelves with my boy, TCC co-host, Mr. Redman. Mr. Redman has already selected Mammoth, but now he will also be taking another somewhat unorthodox robot, maybe not as unorthodox as Mammoth. Has actually been a first pick earlier today in our stream with the Giga Boys. We, of course, are talking about Team Robo Challenges Quantum, who I believe has been picked in every single league by at least somebody. Weird pubic hair on the top of the robot, be damned. Last time we saw him at Battlebots, top 16 finish. Last time we saw this robot compete in general was in the final episode, competing alongside the rest of Team Huang at King of Bots 2. Finished 2nd. But there we go. We have a 2nd round in the books. Hypershock, Endgame, Hydra, Witch Doctor. That looks like round 1 right there. Hypershock, Endgame, Hydra, Witch Doctor. That's insane. And then we got Beta, a robot which beat Beta in Ribot. Rotator, and of course going to Mr. Redman's Bag of Shelves crew, Quantum. As briskly we move along here, let's get rid of these robots in this image and move forward here. What could Mr. Redman's 3rd pick be? We've had some unique robots already. Mammoth and Quantum. Who is going to be next for Mr. Redman? The Red Man with a plan. Makes crazy robots like Strawberry, Cream, Lemon. He loves his full body spinners, so I'm surprised we aren't seeing any of those yet. And this time, he was going to go Beta and Blip. Both those robots already taken. But I like this. You like flippers? We got flippers. Canada's own Lucky was drafted in round 4 last round. Actually, it would have been round 5 in the League D draft. Going in round 3 this time to kick off round 3. In fact, our 17th overall selection, Lucky, will be joining Team Bag of Shelves. Fittingly enough, ended 2021 by throwing P1 onto a shelf, shelving P1 for its career. And we haven't seen much of Lucky outside of Battlebots since Robo Games 2018. We already mentioned Matt Olson, our brand new driver. He's been fantastic. Mark Demers, of course, a lovely captain. He's been in the sport forever with robots like Ziggy, with robots like Cyclone Bot. That's his old heavyweight. Son of Ziggy as well. But now let's go back to Rainer. Team flip and flop. Flip, flip, and flop. I want to verify this. I know Rainer's online right now, so I'm going to give them a minute to reply to this. And here they are. Perfect. Yeah, all right. Rainer's sticking with his selection. Now, given what we heard about Doom yesterday, this might be the right play because everyone else has had cold feet about drafting this robot, but Rainer said no. This robot all the way. So this is the first time we're going to have a chance to talk about this robot today, or over this past couple of days. Hopefully it won't be an alternate, but we're going to have to see how it plays out. But yes, at long last, from Team Food Fight, Western Allied Robotics, Washington's own, Big Dill has been selected by Team Flip and Flops in round 3. And Big Dill, very interesting year for Big Dill this year. Of course, it appeared at Battlebots Champions, not at Battlebots itself. And it went 0-1, losing to Bloodsport in what was not even a close matchup, to be quite honest. Big Dill got its ass handed to them. And then in Battlebots Champions, in Vengeance of Vegas, it appeared twice. Trying to get some fights under its belt. Got obliterated by Blip. Absolutely dominated, stuck into the upper deck round. And then in the chair fight, which I personally thought it won, to be honest. Lost to Overhaul on judge's decision. The chair almost won the judge's decision, according to Farouk. But now we bring it to here. They changed their gearbox after Battlebots 2021. Showed up at Robot Ruckus 2021. Went 6-0, dominating the competition, even ripping apart Balespear in one of their matches. Looked utterly fantastic. And now they're going with the Whiplash approach. They have the vertical spinner. They have the lifting forks. And Rainier seems confident about picking Emmanuel Carrillo and Team Food Fight for their roster for the 2022 Battlebots season. We'll have to see how it plays out. It's a bold move, but I know that Rainer loves Big Dill. Who doesn't love a big pickle? Themselves, they said, biggest of the dills all the way. I'm not cutting any shortcuts here. That's the attitude we like to see as we now move forward to Crystal Carnage here. Team Crystal Carnage, I should say. Crystal Clear, the person. And they already have Tantrum and Ribbon on their roster. Can they get away with more quality robots? It's funny, when I was talking to Rainer, it was either between Monsoon or Big Dill. I wanted to make sure if they wanted to draft a potential reserve. They said Big Dill. And it's funny because this would have changed the draft a little bit. But no. Now, Crystal Carnage gets Monsoon as a member of their roster, joining Tantrum and Ribot. And just like Ominous, we mentioned it yesterday, just like Ominous, this robot is undefeated in robot combat this year with 2 knockouts. This robot knocked out Zakiel in its first fight and knocked out Apex the following day at Extreme Robots in May. So right now sits at a tentative 13th overall position on the TCC overall rankings. On the Battlebots rankings, it sits at, let me look it up, make sure I'm right, 26th overall. So kind of sits as an above average robot. We've been waiting to see this new version of Monsoon for 3 years now. I'm so excited to finally see it. As we now move forward to Team Sterling Brown Fears Condiments, already has Whiplash and Beta on their roster. And they are going to be getting a robot which has gone in the third round quite a bit. Just the perfect above average robot to throw in your roster real quick. In fact, going in the exact same position as it did during the League D draft, the 20th overall selection, Copperhead, will be going to Team Lucha. Team Sterling Brown Fears Condiments. Us Texas, we know a thing or two about Copperheads. We know a thing or two about snakes like this. And Lucha with a very well-versed team so far. We got an all-around robot based on control and whiplash, a hammer bot like Beta, a big-time drum like Copperhead. And now we move forward. We got Code Red's Bullshitters, who has a pretty solid roster for themselves here. Minotaur and Witch Doctor. Third overall, though, they will be taking... Make sure no other person has this robot yet. I like this pick. We already mentioned Extreme Robots in May. This robot was also present at this event and is also a member of Team Inferno, just like Monsoon. A robot which didn't miss a draft in all 6 of the leagues. Shout outs to them for that. We're of course talking about the Dutch legends, Team Bunks, with Ominous. Rock of the Omni Wheels. Everyone's been comparing this robot to Glitch lately, and I feel so bad. This robot has been around 2 years longer than Glitch, but only just now gets to fight in the States. I hope we get some Glitch versus Ominous match at some point during the year. Put some of the people to bed that are comparing the two. I mean, obvious comparisons are obvious. I mean, they're both Omni Wheel vertical spinners, but one has an Egg Beater, one has your classic Drisk spinner, something you'd see on a robot like Hypershock or Witch Doctor. We're going to see how it plays out. That Ominous weapon packs a punch. But yes, Ominous goes to the Code Red Bullshitters. Team ULL now up with MRBK. And speaking of Glitch, golly gee, the next selection in the RFC League draft, 22nd overall pick, going to Team ULL. We are getting back-to-back Omni Wheels, back-to-back Omni Spinners. Glitch will be joining Team ULL, joining Blip and Hydra, the duo of gruesome flippers. So that's 3 robots with serious KO potential. 2 robots which made it top 8 and beyond last year, and a robot which went 7-0 in its first 7 fights of its entire career. Great pick here as we now get to the powerhouses of RFC League. Starting off with Team Swintertime. Swinterbots JP already has Sawblaze, Endgame, as a part of his ranks. Who is next? I want to verify this selection because this is a very good robot, and I think it's the latest we've seen it drafted so far. And yes, on top of powerhouses like Sawblaze and Endgame, Swingame's getting away with it so far in this draft. I believe the latest we have seen Combot get selected in the draft. Combot will not miss a roster. That's not really surprising. Will not miss a draft. But like I said, not very surprising there. Made it to the All-Star semis, made it to the top 8. Amazing knockouts, amazing victories, even some upsets mixed in there. Got knocked out by the champion in the playoffs. Nothing to scoff at. Swin now has Sawblaze, Endgame, and Combot. As we now go to our defending champion, Nikki Dusty Owl, getting to make back-to-back picks here. Nikki already has Riptide and Hypershock. They were going to go Glitch for the following round. Stolen, though, by Team ULL. So we are finally going to see more Switchback. We saw them in the last round. They're going Switchback at round 3. In the last draft. But these guys, Team Taco Hell, are going Switchback in round 3. So 3 of the 6 leagues picked Switchback. 3 of the 6 leagues completely left that robot alone. The Tyrant from Texas finding a home in half the leagues. Hopefully that robot can find a home in more of the teams in some of these other leagues. It will be a free agent, of course, so keep an eye on that robot. Will be available for the entire year until before King of Draft Extreme, of course. But now let's keep moving forward. Who is after Switchback here for Team Taco Hell? As we recap round 3 real quick. Bag of Shelves taking Lucky. The Flip-Flop Boys taking Big Dill. The first time we've seen Big Dill in this draft, and the only time we'll see Big Dill. Monsoon going to Team Crystal Carnage. Copperhead, Ominous, Glitch to follow. Glitch going to Team ULL. Swin, though, stacked roster so far, taking Combot. And finally, our defending champions, Team Taco Hell, taking a bit of a gamble on the brand new design Switchback. Let's wipe our board here. 16 more selections in the 2022 King of Draft. It's been a bit of a long run, but I'm glad that a lot of you guys showed up for it. Where's Monsoon? There's Monsoon. As we kick off with another horizontal spinner, an undercutter joining Taco Hell. We already saw Rotator get drafted for the final time in the 2022 King of Draft. Well, now we're going to see Valkyrie with their new captain, Lucy Dew, and some other new team members. As I also forgot to mention, a lot of the Valkyrie team members also now a part of Omega team, so that's going to be a new look team in multiple ways. They don't have their driver, Frederick Moore. They don't have Amanda Fowler in their roster anymore. A lot of big changes outside of the Lucy Dew and Leanne Cushing switch over. Valkyrie, though, final pick for Team Taco Hell as we move forward here. Next the final pick, our penultimate pick for Team Taco Hell as we move back to Swin here. And who will he get now? Already has Cobalt, Endgame, and Sawblaze. And if I'm not mistaken, this robot has not been picked next. And this could be a very good round 4 selection for Swin here. A robot which has yet to miss a draft, unsurprisingly. The hometown hero, we talked about the intangible during the League D draft, which makes this robot just a good pick no matter where you pick it, or who you pick it, what your team composition is. I mean, just look at Dungeon of Doom. They picked up this robot, and they mostly have a joke team. But yes, Team Wintertime, 2 deadly vertical spinners apparently wasn't enough. We've seen the impacts which Jackpot can land, and now that they have a more robust body, they have more prepared Jackpots for this season. Should be a good robot. Should be a good selection, especially for round 4. That's a great pick for Team Wintertime. As a Team ULL, what do these guys have in mind? Already, Blip, Hydra, and Glitch, parts of their selection so far. And they would have Ominous next, but has been selected by the Code Red bullshitters. I want to make sure this selection, though, hasn't gone through because people have selected this robot in round 1 multiple times already. So to see it go round 4, quite frankly, very surprising. But our next selection, 3rd selection in round 4 of the RFC League draft. This is a huge gift for MRBK in the late rounds. Rotator level. We got Death Roll. Death Roll joining Glitch, Hydra, and Blip, the Australians. One of the most reliable robots this year. We know there is a boy roll and a lady roll. One of the Death Rolls has a woman's arm as the Shreem mech compared to the classic dude arm, Kano arm, that we see on the Death Roll that we have right here. Super excited to see both the Death Rolls in action, though, joining Team ULL. The final time we'll talk about Death Roll. And what does Code Red have? Code Red, drafted Ominous in the prior round, is going for yet another unorthodox but proven weapon style here in Huge. Yet another robot which will not miss a draft. Huge will be joining the Code Red bullshitters. Hopefully less anti-Huge configurations this year for their sake. I mean, it's been a rough couple of years for Huge so far in the past 2 seasons. A lot of anti-Huge configurations. Some really tough losses in the first round. Just look at 2020 with Mammoth. Look at 2021 with Riptide, what was a very controversial fight. Hope for better for Mammoth this year. We keep moving forward, though. Lucha with his next to last pick for Team Sterling Brown. Fears Condiments. Why, yes, I do. Already has Whiplash, Beta, Copperhead, and this is a very good selection. Let me make sure this is accurate. RFC League always picks crazy robots early and then picks the good robots late. Endgame going in round 2 is mental. But what is almost as mental, is Black Dragon going in nearly the 4th round. Final 10 picks of the draft, final 12 picks of the draft, and we're finally seeing Black Dragon in this league's draft. fifth selection in the fourth round. It will be going to Team Sterling Brown Fierce Condiments, like I said, joining the likes of Copperhead, Beta, and Whiplash. Black Dragon has a history with two of those three robots. Whiplash, in fact, being one of Black Dragon's big kryptonites. It has knocked that robot out of major tournament contention twice now, 2020 and Champions 2021. Moving forward now, though, we're at Team Crystal Carnage, a team which already has picked up Tantrum, Ribbon, and Monsoon. Pretty solid group so far. Their fourth selection, though, will be, I'll be damned, robot which keeps finding its way into every single draft except the Attendee League draft, funny enough. Bots FC's Emulsifier has almost been getting picked better than Shatter. We have yet to see Shatter this draft, but we do have Emulsifier this time. Team Crystal Carnage will be adding the tracked Emulsifier to their ranks for the 2022 King of Draft season. And now we go back to Rainer, the fellow Texan with Team Flip and Flops. Selected the potential alternate Big Dill last round. Selecting a non-alternate this time, but a very unique robot. It's Colt time, baby. We're talking about Omega Team and Starchild. The next to last pick, joining Rotator, Lockjaw, and Big Dill on Team Flip and Flops. For the sake of the big dogs, I really hope Starchild does good this year. I think this is the first time we've talked about Starchild today. Big time wheels, of course, capped by Brandon Zielinski, especially the spiritual successor to P1 here. If you've seen Starchild compete in the 3-pound class before, you know how good it is. It's done some serious damage to robots like Rebel before earlier in the 2022 NHRL season. In one of the earlier tournaments, be sure to look out for that fight. It's a destructive robot, though. As we now go to our final round 4 selection here. Mr. Redman has been known for his unorthodox picks. But where will he be going this time? Already has picked Mammoth, Quantum, Lucky. And it's funny, I just mentioned it. We haven't seen Shatter yet. Here Shatter is. Our final round 4 selection and the next to last pick for Team Bag of Shelves. So quite frankly, Mr. Redman might have the best team he's ever put together here with Mammoth, Quantum, Lucky, and Shatter. I mean, 3 of those robots did make top 32. You can put an asterisk on it if you want, but 3 of those robots did make top 32 last year. Quantum made top 16 in 2019. We already mentioned that. Could be a good pick. Let's run through our round 4 picks one more time here, though. We're definitely picking up the pace, as you can tell. It's about to be the same time we ended last night. Sorry. As we have Valkyrie, Jackpot, Death Roll, Huge, Black Dragon, Emulsifier, Starchild, and Shatter selected in this round. I am shocked to see Shocked to see Rotator last round. I am shocked to see Death Roll and Black Dragon be selected so late in the RFC League draft. Been a very weird draft, a bit of a bizarro world draft, but let's clear the board for one final time in 2022 King of Draft live streams. And yeah, we have Phaela right here talking about it. What is going on in RFC League? I feel like we ask that question every year. RFC League drafting just tends to be its own monster. And I'm glad we save it for the end because they always do something crazy. Always try mixing it up. I mean, End Game in round 2. That means the only robot to not go out in round 1, or not go out in any other round but round 1, is Tantrum. That's pretty crazy. Never thought I'd be saying that. I thought Endgame was going to be a lock for every round, first round selection. But I just want to take a bit of a breather before we get to wrapping up the stream here. We're wrapping it up right now with our final round of selections. We still are waiting on the final few picks in League C. Hopefully Sam FM can get me a response sometime in the morning so we can do it in League updates. Definitely keep an eye on League updates. Rainer talking about their next pick, hyping it up. We'll know it in just a moment. Our 5th and final selections here in the RFC League. We're going to hop into it in just a moment. But once again, if you're new here to the Combot Collective, please give us a like, comment, and subscription on the video. Chat about it in the chat and in the YouTube comments after the video. Leave one there. And our social media, which you can find right here. Our Facebook, the Combot Collective. Our Instagram, the_Combot_Collective. We post there about as often as we can. And, of course, our Discord community as well. You can find that link in our other videos. But for now, it's time for the final round of drafts in the 2022 King of Draft. And we're starting off with Bag of Shelves once again here. Mr. Redman. Quite a solid team despite the fact that Mr. Redman usually tries to put together a shitpost roster. And I want to verify this selection. Accurate. Okay. Mr. Redman will be concluding his draft. It's funny. The robot didn't appear at all for the first day. But in League C, D, and RFC League, robot gets drafted each time. We're, of course, talking about the former Battlebots top 8 member back all the way in 2015. Charles Guan's overhaul. This robot, of course, went 1-0 at Robotica after defeating Sabai in an exhibition match. Charles Guan himself won Robotica's heavyweight class with a robot named Defied Maintenance, which we still don't know what it looks like. If you're out there at HARC, please, for the love of God, put out the Robotica videos. We're all waiting for them. I mean, I wanna put them in the TCC rankings, man. Come on now. But moving forward here, overhaul. The final selection for Team Bag of Shells, which means their roster: Mammoth, Quantum, Lucky, Shatter, Overhaul. And let's see what Team Flip and Flops will be picking. We already saw Rainer select Big Dill. And I want to verify this. I love Rainer's commitment to these robots. There has been some rumor, people saying that they do believe that Slammo is an alternate for the 2022 BattleBot season. I've had some sources tell me this. I'm a little worried because I feel like the robot has proven itself in that Malice fight to not be, an alternate level robot. I mean, shit. They were in the top 32 season before last. And in case it wasn't obvious, our final pick for Team Flip and Flops will be the robot representing North Carolina by way of England, Team Danby, a multi-continent team. This is a US/UK robot, Slammo, finally appearing in a draft today. Didn't appear in League A, B, C, D, or even Attendee League. Slammo, though, comfortably appearing in the RFC League draft with Team Flip and Flops, my Texan brethren, Rainer. Finishing their roster, Lockjaw, Rotator, Big Dill, Starchild, and Slammo. That's someone who just wants to draft their favorites right there, and I absolutely love it. But we're going to keep moving on here. Crystal Carnage. Team Crystal Carnage. They were in League E last year, RFC League this year. They already have Whiplash, Beta, Copperhead, and Back Dragon. That is a terrifying team. I'm sorry, no, that's my apologies. That's Lucha's team. Team Crystal Carnage. They already have Tantrum, Ribbot, Monsoon, and Emulsifier. Still a very terrifying team, I will say. Who will they be adding next? Well, I gave Rainer the option for Malice because if it wasn't going to be Slammo, it would have been Malice. But he said he wants the Slammo even if it may be an alt. I love the commitment. But that leaves the door open for Malice to be joining Team Crystal Carnage. I believe the team's sole horizontal spinner, as we have a bunch of verts on this crew: Tantrum, Ribbot, Monsoon, Emulsifier. Ribbot can sometimes be a horizontal spinner, but Monsoon is our pure HS here with the brand new forks. New vegan diet here for Malice. That's what Bunny said in the Scorpius vlog. Hanging on tight Second time we've seen Malice drafted today. I think it's like the fourth time we've seen it all together. As we move forward here to the Team Sterling Brown Fierce Condiments. I just don't like mustard, relish, mayo especially. Gosh, mayo is disgusting. Ranch too, smells awful. I'm sorry, man. And like I said, this team is stacked so far. Whiplash, Beta, Copperhead, Black Dragon. Well, who's next? Has that robot really not been picked yet? Mental. There's no way this robot hasn't not been picked yet. Shit. This might be the biggest steal of the draft. I mean, I know I've said that a few times today. But this robot in round 5, robot which has never missed the playoffs, kind of crazy. Team BNS Robotics, Bloodsport. Our 35th overall selection. Absolutely insane. This robot in 2019, even as a Tornado Mare clone, made it to the top 24. This robot made it to the top 8 in 2020. This robot made it to the top, did it make it to the top 8? Maybe it was the top 16. This robot made it to the top 32 in 2021. Made it all the way to the Bounty Bracket final 2 times over. Lost to Lockjaw in lost to Lockjaw in 2020. Lost to Scorpius in 2021. So maybe they'll do better in Champions this year if they have to be in Champions. We'll have to see how it plays out, but Bloodsport with BNS Robotics selected here in the RFC League, 35th overall. That's crazy. And that means Team Sterling Brown Fierce Condiments is going to be Whiplash, Beta, Copperhead, Black Dragon, and Bloodsport. I don't know about you guys, but that team sounds utterly terrifying. As we now go to the KoD Red Bullshitters here. A team which selected Death Roll in the prior, I selected Huge in the prior round. It's another one I gotta make sure no one has picked yet. Shit mixed with I'll be damned. Alright. This is another damn near steal. Maybe not the same level as Bloodsport, because this robot did miss the top 16 in his debut season in 2019. But this robot was also a walk-in during 2019, so that's something you gotta factor in. But since then, it's become a Battlebots All-Star. It's appeared on G4. Rest in peace, G4 again. Very active this year, of course. We're talking about Martin Mason, Calvin Eva with Mad Catter. Will they finally break out of the top 32 this year? You gotta think that KoD Red is hoping for it. And quite a solid team for KoD Red here as we're down to our final 3 picks of the 2022 King of Draft. Minotaur, Witch Doctor, Ominous, Huge, and Mad Catter will make up the KoD Red Bullshitters. That is another championship level team in my opinion. Minotaur, Witch Doctor, Ominous, Huge, Mad Catter. 5 deadly vertical spinners there with the Minotaur, Witch Doctor, Ominous, and Mad. Mainly those 3. Massive KO power between that trio of robots as we now move to 2 of our UK teams. Team ULL MRBK Heavyweight Experience already has Blip, Hydra, Glitch, Death Roll. It will be their final pick. It's a crazy one. I like this pick. We can talk about this robot one more time today. This is a robot which I believe, surprisingly enough, did not get undrafted in any of the 6 leagues. I might be wrong. But people will just love this robot. They want to talk about this robot. And who can blame them? Captained by Bradley Hanstad, Triton is our penultimate King of Draft selection. Going to Team ULL. And will be a team's sole horizontal spinner. Along the likes of Blip, Hydra, Glitch, and Death Roll. 2 deadly vertical spinners. 2 deadly flippers. And now 1 massive horizontal spinner to cap it all off. 2 more picks to go. Here at the Combot Collective, King of Draft. It's been a wild ride between these 2 streams. We have been sitting here for a combined 7 hours talking about King of Draft selections. I'm so glad I didn't make this a one-day stream. I would have still been up, dying, falling apart, trying to do these things. But yes, Swin the Bots is here with his final selection. Hashtag Team Swinter Time. Swin, swin, swin to win. Everybody knows, don't fall in the bin. He already has Swinblaze, End Game, Combot, Jackpot. Who's next? That's who's next. Another robot which, to my surprise, especially given the brand new design overhaul, not overhaul, already been picked. Our penultimate selection, who will not miss a draft. Kraken will be joining Team #Wintertime along the likes of Sawblaze, Endgame, Combot, and Jackpot. Robots which Kraken surprisingly has never faced in its career. A robot which has been around for quite some time, since 2018, competing in the 2018 season. It's been around a while. Been in almost every King of Draft season, except 2016. It's an amazing robot. We've seen it compete in live events. We even saw it compete at South Florida Fair this year, in fact, with the Crusher configuration. Now, that might be the last time we ever see the Crusher configuration. Had an amazing knockout against one Extinguisher, if you remember that robot, in the South Florida Fair event all the way back in January. Lipofire, of all things. Perfect buy on the robot. Probably the best fight of the Crusher Kraken in his entire career, up there with the Witch Doctor fight. But now, one more pick on this stream. One more slot. Nikki Dusty Owl, Team Taco Hell, who already has Riptide, Hypershock, Switchback, and Valkyrie. Caps off with a robot which actually went first overall in one of the drafts. We'll be going last overall in this one. Our Miss Irrelevant, Hijinks, will be joining Team Taco Hell. Very solid driver. Orion Beach. I was talking about Mike Galately being an underrated driver. Mike Galately. Orion Beach is just up there. Well, not only the coolest name in Battlebots, but underrated driver. Like we already talked about, this robot held its own against Sawblaze and Whiplash this year. Maybe if that spinner kept going, it could have beat Whiplash, but that's it. Our final round, we have been, Jesus, 5 times 6. 30 rounds up, 30 rounds down here at the King of Draft 2022 draft. As our final rundown, Bag of Shells takes Overhaul, Flip-Flops takes Slammo, the only time we've seen Slammo get taken in this entire draft. Crystal Carnage picks up Malice, Bloodsport, a late round selection for one Team Sterling Brown Fierce Condiments. Huge snipe there. Another huge snipe in the 5th selection. Code Red's Bullshitters gets Mad Catter. Team ULL would take the Powerhouse Horizontal Spinner Triton. And our big names here, Team Wintertime would take Kraken, and Team Taco Hell just now selected Hijinks. And once again, I am so tired. My voice is shot. And I'm done. If you're in general, please say hello, say goodbye, because this is the end of the 2022 King of Draft. I wanted this stream to not be as long as yesterday's stream, and we managed to beat it by just under half an hour. So that's good. And we did get a later start. It's almost 11 o'clock my time here. So I'm going to wrap it up. If this is your first time on the Combot Collective, you already heard me say it. Please subscribe to our social media. It's in the description below. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel itself. We have videos coming out, coming very soon. We have behind-the-scenes updates. We're talking about our reserves. We're talking about Big Dill, Slammo, who we just had drafted. We're talking about the potential reserves, robots like the Doomba. We're talking about the weird situation with Samurai showing up to Vegas but not competing. We're talking about P1 being a present at Battlebots 2022 but not being used. Maybe it's a back-of-the-line ultra that we're going to have to see how that plays out. Maybe it will appear at Champions. I would love to see that personally. We also have other developments happening like Doom dropping out. Maybe that'll be a Champions exclusive robot. Definitely a robot you might want to get on your team before King of Draft Extreme. What else do we have going on here? Vengeance in Vegas will be our next published video. Me and Pori recorded that, over a week ago. I've been mainly working on preparation for this live stream, so I haven't been able to get any videos out at all. That's going to change, though, very soon. We're going to have that video out. Of course, we have update videos, rundowns on Extreme Robots and Maidstone. Mechatrons in Dublin, Robots Live Crawley, plenty of UK video action. Even though those videos don't get the same kind of views and traction as the Battlebots videos, you gotta talk about the live scene. And the heavyweight live scene has been utterly fantastic this year with robots like Eruption, Iron Awe, Switch, fantastic machines. Apollo as well. It's a shame we aren't going to see Orion in this year's Battlebots season. But I think I've rambled on enough. You know what videos are coming up here at Battlebots and, at the Combot Collective. We also have a Battlebots rule video that we're going to be discussing. I'm going to have Mantine and Freeze on for that video, discussing all the new changes in intricacies with the 2022 Battlebots rule set. And there are some big ones. Match Steward. Mike Lately is the match steward. Mike Jeffries is the match steward. We learned that today on the Scorpius vlog. But that's going to wrap it up. It's 10:58 p.m. I am going to eat food. I'm going to smoke. And I'm going to take these contacts out because I'm tired. And I'm going to be going to bed fairly soon. You guys get some rest. Thank you so much for attending these 2 days of King of Draft action here at the Combot Collective. I love doing this. Like I said at the top and the end of yesterday's stream, when I made the Combot Collective, this is something that I wanted to do, was a draft day stream for King of Draft. And we did it. We finished it. 6 leagues up, 6 leagues down, 30 rounds of drafting, over 200 robots selections have been done. And I'm going to go get some rest. And you guys should too. Keep in mind, 3 more picks left still for League C. And then we're going to do the reserve picks. And then after that, November 1st, free agents are available, trades are open, and that will be, kind of like a winter meeting kind of thing. You're going to have 2 months to do trades, finalizing your team, because start of January, it's crunch time. The Battlebot season's going to begin. We've heard January 7th as like a tentative start day. It's going to be airing on TBS. It's going to be airing on Discovery. If you're somehow hearing you don't know what Battlebots is. But thank you so much. It's now 11 o'clock here my time. I love you guys so much for watching this. This has been the Combot Collective. I'm Sterling Brown. You can find me on Instagram, @SterlingTXTG. And we will see you next time here at the Combot Collective. You guys have a great night.